That's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, I just gave you another thing that also makes sense.
That doesn't make sense. Because now I have to wait despite the fact that I've already ordered. You want to go first? Why don't you order fucking faster, pal?
I want to tell you, I took advantage of dollar drink days. I got myself a large DC. It was around lunchtime, and the lovely lady at the drive-thru told me, that's not enough. I should have ordered more. Like, I need to order more, a big guy like myself. I don't know whether to be complimented or insulted. It was...
I don't know.
Like
I would have been
12:30 in the afternoon. I rolled through for just, a large dollar drink day. I just needed, to wet the palate. And I don't know. She did a drive by on me.
I don't know that I could go back to that location for a while. I would be, no, people at the fast food don't judge. Yes, they do. Example A, that person is judging you, Jeffrey.
I will say it's the location that's near the Jewel of Jane and Finch. So maybe they just got a different energy up there.
Maybe.
They're a little more sassy.
But you were judged by the person working at McDonald's. And it's not your friend who says hi to you in the Shoppers.
Yeah, that's a home game.
That's a home game. Yeah, that's right.
Pat Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by Underdog. We're back for football. Maybe not every single week, but almost every single week till the end of the season. We may take a week off in August. Who knows? But we got the Custies coming up. NFC, AFC win totals. But today we're just digging back in to the NFL. Jeffrey, I'm reminding everyone to smash the like and sub to the channel. You always smash the like, don't you? I appreciate that.
Yeah, I usually smash. I used to be better with the comments, Pat, but sometimes I'm trying to be more mature and just avoid the comments altogether. So I'm, not glad-handing, and leaving one, or as Tim would say, arguing with someone in them. But we're here, and I am excited. When, I just told my wife that today we were talking football for what felt like, the schedule's its own little popcorn. This actually, I got excited today thinking about actually talking about the upcoming season. So I'm fired up.
Now that the three of us are back together talking about football again, football feels real for me, although I think I've done 8 football shows over the past 3 weeks or so. So if you've missed any of the division previews, me, Cam, and Rob are doing those. The fantasy stuff is up with Jake and Harditz, although, Jeff, we lost a 90-minute show earlier today. The audio didn't record, only the video did. It's the first time that's happened in 2 years. It is so frustrating.
I was going to say I couldn't. It feels like it's been a while. You put out enough. Maybe you were due from the content gods.
Good
yeah,
show.
That's
it was
seldom
good too.
has happened. You're a true pro.
Dr. Jared, that was easily the best show we had, Jake, Ian, and I had done, ever, which sucks.
The best. Oh. Yeah, it was really good.
That sucks.
Yeah, there's a lot of laughs too, which is rare. And we found out Ian only likes edamame too.
Yeah, number one vegetable, edamame.
Yeah, strange.
Weird.
Well, the way to kick off NFL season would surely be as getting a power ranking, a definitive list of the best vegetables with Tim Andercust.
Tim Andercust.
It's not my name.
Let's hear him.
Well, I think at number 1, pretty decisively, is asparagus.
Is number 1, even though it makes your piss smell bad to some people.
Asparagus is number 1. Brussels sprouts would be number 2.
Now, are you including Brussels sprouts, just cooking Brussels sprouts, or covered in bacon?
No, they don't have to be done that way. I mean, they're good no matter which way you have them. I like Brussels sprouts. Number 3 would be green beans. I love green beans. Number 4 would be broccoli. Just the crowns. I don't particularly care for the stems.
But what about but you have your broccoli with Cheese Whiz, I assume.
No, just steamed is fine, or plain. Then there's a gap. I would say cauliflower.
Have you ever done best meals?
I don't know. You're asking me questions and I don't know the answers.
You really put on the spot. So
I didn't mean to put you on the spot by asking if you ever done a best meals.
I don't think I have.
But you would just put fast food. You just put things in brackets beside from this fast food restaurant.
I mean, that's likely what would happen. Yes.
So no peppers, no carrots, no corn, no potatoes.
I don't know that peppers count.
Why don't peppers count?
Have seeds inside. I think they're technically a fruit.
Is that true?
I thought like anything that grows its own seeds is biologically a fruit.
Well, carrots grow their own seeds.
Peppers definitely give vegetable vibes.
Well, yes, but so does cucumber and so does tomato. It doesn't make them such.
Botanically, yes. Green pepper is a fruit. Although, however, in cooking, green peppers are treated as vegetables because they are savory rather than sweet.
Yeah, green peppers are awful. Red peppers and yellow peppers are delicious.
There's not that much
There's a
difference in the taste.
huge difference between a sweet bell pepper and a green pepper.
This will probably be the healthiest food we talk about all football.
Hey, I have to use my new kitchen with Cust cooking in it so I can write it off through the company, Jeff. So we'll be doing Cust cooks.
Yeah.
There's no more
Good,
Cust
yeah.
eats for Sunday. It's only Cust cooks.
Yeah. Well played.
All right, I'm going to start out. I wrote down some topics for NFL. I polled the audience for topics. They gave them to me. I have them numbered. So I have this handy hat, which has different things in it for topics that we are going to talk about. So we'll see what we draw out. But I'm going to start with this one, okay? Have guys like Mahomes and Lamar already peaked? I feel like they get ranked high out of habit, but are now regressing from their usual play. Have we seen the best of both these players?
Like, will Mahomes have a better season than he's already had? That is unlikely, but he can get better. He can get more mature. He can be a smarter. Like, they're entering an era where they should be like so much smarter. They like get their mental hold of the game is almost at a ceiling, even when their athletic hold, starts to drift. A lot of people in the olden days, when I was a kid, I heard it referred to that the quarterback's prime really is like 28 through 33 because they're in a place mentally where they see the game at such a higher level than they did, 3, 4, 5 years ago. But they're at a point where their athleticism is still there. The arm strength, mobility is more of a, silly enough to say, a new age quarterback thing. And that's an aspect of this. When we were growing up, the best quarterbacks weren't mobile. So it was just, can the arm still match the brain?
I don't think that they've
It's a
peaked.
loaded question. It's a loaded question. I don't mean to sit on the fence, but it's a loaded question.
Well, I think your point is taken well, that the best season Mahomes is ever going to have was his second year when he won MVP and threw 50 touchdowns and almost 5,000 yards. Like, statistically, he's never going to be better than that. But does he have to be better than that? And if he's not, does that mean he hasn't reached his peak? Like, he can still... Brady, well into his early 40s, I would still say that he wasn't the best version of Tom Brady, but he wasn't past his peak at all. He was still winning, still a winning player. He was in the conversation for MVP. He was winning Super Bowls. It feels like Lamar has the most to lose from this list, but Lamar's only 29 years old. Like, it's going to be a while before Lamar loses that, like, peak athleticism. Like, you give him to 32, and as long as he's still mobile, he can still do what he wants. Mahomes and Allen don't have to run around. Like, Allen's just a big body. He can muscle you at the goal line. But, like, Allen is older than Lamar Jackson. I'm surprised he's not included on this list.
Fair.
If history teaches us anything, the answer to the question is a pretty decisive no. Brett Favre's very best season came in his first year with Minnesota. Rodgers' 2 best seasons were late in his career, and he won MVPs. Peyton Manning's.
What about his first season with the Jets?
Peyton Manning's best season was
No
his first season
interceptions.
with the Broncos. Matthew Stafford just had the best statistical season of his career at 38. The best quarterbacks tend to have, historically, their biggest spike years closer to the very end of their careers when you think they're done. At least that's what the last 15 years of quarterbacking has shown. So I don't follow the premise that Mahomes will not have a better season than he had in his second year.
Quarterbacks you named, did you name one who was like an athlete, but like an athletic quarterback?
Rodgers sure was.
Yes and no. Rodgers
He was no statue.
Yeah, but Rodgers was an athletic quarterback like Russell Wilson was an athletic quarterback that if pushed to run, they could run. But all three of these guys, Mahomes, I'd say
Mahomes is closer to these guys than that. Mahomes is not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback who picks his spots to run.
So Mahomes doesn't use his...
can extend plays as good as anyone we ever seen.
Yeah, and we saw, like, even in those Super Bowls, like, or in those playoff games when nothing was working, what happened? Mahomes just rushed for 80 yards.
So
Sure.
I'm inclined to lean like, no, I'm not ready to say their best football is behind them. If you mentally grasp the game, you can make up for a lot of different things. It's a game of chess. And as these guys get older, some of them become like grandmasters away from their athleticism. And we're in real trouble if Mahomes or these guys unlock like a level of next level thinking while they still have that athleticism that Pat spoke about. They're not 33 yet. So I think these are still hyper dangerous seasons. Hyper dangerous. Yeah.
If you had to rank them 1, 2, 3 going into this year for a quarterback you would want to have on your team, who would they be?
I think given the health factors, I would have to now put Allen at 1, even though that frustrates me a little bit. Mahomes is going to play. He's not okay. I don't expect Mahomes to play well for several weeks till he's really back in form.
Who did they get as a backup again?
Justin Fields.
Yeah. So
who I was told
I think Mahomes
could run a Rams 2.0 offense of the greatest show on turf.
I think Mahomes is going to play week 1 now. I don't think he's going to be very good for a month and a half to get up to speed. But when I say not very good, I mean at his level. So, I think I would throw the order probably Allen 1, Mahomes still number 2.
Well, there's only one left. It's Lamar.
Yeah,
I should rank 3
of those
guys.
3. Yeah, of those 3. Yeah, that would be it.
Well, then you're also putting like Burrow, Drake May.
I could put Matthew Stafford at 3 coming off
Herbert.
an MVP season. We'll see. We'll talk about
MVP Herbert.
We don't need to
season.
talk about Herbert yet, but like this is what I call a gut check.
What
This
are
is
you
a gut.
loading the chamber for?
It's a gut check season. Put it that way. If he doesn't
There's
have
a lot on the
if he
line.
doesn't have a
There's
great
a lot
year,
on the line
if he
in
doesn't
Bakeware.
have a great year this year, he won't be in powder blue in 2 years' time or 3 years' time.
This is
It's now or never. It's now or never.
you like plotting the exit is a deplorable start to the season.
Let's just say.
I'm ashamed.
Let's just say.
I'm ashamed.
Let's
I
just
think
say-
that is a disgusting low blow.
I'm not sure
10
they
minutes
win
10
more games than they
minutes
lose.
into 26, you're laying the groundwork for an exit. Is just a place. Come on, man. That's not cool.
I'm just saying, the more I think about this season as I started to think football, I'm not so sure you're not going to have a top 6 or 7 pick this year.
Okay, can you explain why?
I think they're going to go like 5. They could very well go like 5 and 12.
Why though? Why?
Because they're in a stacked division where I think both Denver and Kansas City are very good. They're in the AFC.
We just
which
talked
is
about one
stacked.
of those teams whose quarterback isn't going to be good for a month.
5 and 11.
5 and 12, 6 and 10.
To 11 last year with no one.
Yeah, I just
Whatever. No, I don't need. Yeah, let's
I got
go.
low
My vibes are high.
low expectations for the Chargers
That's
this
fine.
season.
This is
Low
the
expectations.
Low expectations are fine. That is a fair thing to have. Totally. This is ball. We're all going to differ opinion on how we think teams are going to have. You starting the 2026 season with cutting the ribbon at a bridge building ceremony for his exit is just
saying if he has if he's poor in 2026, in 2028 he's going to be playing for somebody else.
Define poor, like dragging the team on his fucking back.
Look, he's a Look, I will not say anything against his toughness. He's might be the toughest quarterback in football, but like
we're gonna play a little easier pitching catches here. I'm not starting.
You got to
the
win
show
some
with
games.
Charger Radio.
You got to
Pat's
actually
got
win. You got to win some games.
That is an offensive.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on a
I
second.
think thou dost protest too much, but anyway.
No. Hold on, because I don't think you're being fair to the truth on the ground. Is how last season went. I don't think it was even a hot take, like, to project that out. You can hold that all on him if you want. And what I mean by that is it was obvious in like October, November, how it was going to play out. He was going to put them on their back to those regular season wins with not being protected, and they were going to get to the playoffs against a defense, and the exit was going to be revolting. That was laid out. That's what happened.
It happened the year before
I don't know.
that.
Sure, let's go.
The year
I
before
don't
that.
want to protest too much. I've been told I should appreciate your proclamation. I'm just taken aback by you already turning this into what, like, why aren't you why don't we go to the underdog prediction market to find out what team Herbert's on next year?
Not next year, 2 years' time.
Is this all?
Well, you cut the ribbon.
Are you angling that if he has a bad year, the Jets can trade 2 first-round picks for him?
That's the sort of thing the Jets would do. Try to find a reclamation project at 29.
All right.
Okay.
Let's,
I'm coming into a place where I don't even like the air that's being put in my tires.
Well, you'll get no air from these tires. Your
Which is
tires
funny,
will get no
'cause,
air
like,
from
I
here.
swear a month ago you were like,
I know, but I wasn't really
pumping
thinking.
hard.
But I wasn't really thinking much about football. As I've been actually trying to think about football the last few days, I've been looking at things, and I listened to your AFC West prediction show, and I was
where
like,
everyone liked the Chargers?
I was like, I think there's a lot of holes here, and honestly, like you put them against the Raiders, and I'm not sure there's a huge gap in between.
Come on.
Outside of the offensive line, but again, the two guys who are coming back off of serious injury. You think they're going to be what they were in
They're already,
2024?
listen, I've been
Please.
getting thirst traps since like May about the boys looking good.
Good. You better.
those
This is your
Yeah,
everything
let's- but
season.
That
It's now
is-
or never.
but Tim, like you're saying very, in some ways, like obvious things. This is like year
thank you.
3. This is year 3 for the coach. This is year 3 for the GM. There's no more in any team. Like when you're at year 3 of the regime, the team is now built in the image for which you want it. Year 1, you can't fix everything at once. Year 2, it's another draft. By the time you've had 3 off seasons, 3 drafts, there's no more like looking to the last regime, right? It's like a president who's been in office. By year 3, let's go. You can't blame the other guy anymore.
I don't know.
So
This
there's
has
a
got-
lot on the line. I'm not doubting the stakes that are out here for these guys.
And if
this
it goes
year. It's a
bad,
huge-
it's gonna go. This is gonna be like Shea
Well, then,
Hildebrand
you know what? If
writing,
it's gonna go
"This
bad,
ship
this
is
is all I
sinking
ask."
on the wall" to frustrate John Gibbons. This is what this is
This
like.
is
The
all I
vibes this
ask.
has.
This is all I ask. If it's going to go bad, just let it go bad on the field.
Well, I think
Let
you may
it be
get your
taken
wish.
from me on the field, not in training camp, not off the field. Let it go bad on the field. But in Tim saying he started thinking about football season and it came to this conclusion, the truth is, for most people, it has actually been the reverse. The stank of the Chargers, and like as soon as you count on them, they will let you down. The playoff loss was devastating and ugly. There was a residual on that for a while. We are through those clouds, and a lot of the ball knowers that come into my path are seeing it differently, in that once you reflect on last year, this was a team and a quarterback that actually overcame a lot. And there will not be a team in the entire league that is onboarding, 2 potential all-pro tackles. God willing, it goes well. I don't know. Maybe Tim will be right. Hopefully not.
I don't know if it's year 3 or 4, but Jim Harbaugh has a very good track record of getting teams from like a level to a level, then years 3 and 4 being.
But they've been at the same level the last couple of years with Harbaugh.
No, but they overachieved.
I feel like they overachieved last year. Well, when you lose your 2 best offensive linemen, your quarterback can't stand upright. There's only so far you're going to
and
go.
you have the 31st.
I understand. There's
ranked
no
center.
shortage of excuses for
So
you
what
to
do you-
a lot of
dole
them-
out.
What do you think the top
So
3
Tim,
excuses?
that's my point. I need let it happen on the field. That's where it's got to happen. So there's no more, like there's nothing else to blame. That's what has to happen. I need it to happen on the field, where then the excuses cannot be fallen on, if you understand what I'm saying.
And they made the playoffs every year with Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm. They have.
They had
gone out.
They had one
gloriously.
really devastating loss and one
Can
kind
I
of,
make
kind of
a Tim
expected
Butt
loss.
And
bet
then,
with
but
you?
another devastating one with Herbert before that too, when they lost 30. They gave up that 30-point comeback to the
That
Jaguars.
was 2 years ago, wasn't it?
3 years ago. Then they blew up to the
more than
Browns.
3.
Then they blew up against the Patriots. Like they've been
They lost to
horrific.
the Browns in the playoffs?
They lost by 1,000,000 points to the Browns in the playoffs.
I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
Or no, that was the Texans and Browns. They lost to
The Texans and we've gotten beat by the Texans and the Patriots the last 2 years.
Texans,
We
Patriots,
didn't make the playoffs.
and Jaguars.
We didn't make the playoffs the year Staley was fired. The Jaguars incident happened the year before that.
So it's a 4-year stretch of really ugly football in the playoffs.
In the play, I like the
In the
playoffs. Making the
no,
playoffs every
it's
year. You're
undeniable.
giving yourself a shot. You're getting yourself in the tournament.
Okay, that's fair. But Tim, to Tim's point, which is undeniable, is 1 is 1, 2 is 2. As I've always said, like you win or lose 2 in a row. That's not a streak. That's just back-to-back wins or back-to-back losses. A streak starts at 3. We're on a fucking streak. There have been a lot of quarterbacks, though, that did go from 0 playoff wins to the Super Bowl. That was something Nick Costas said, you bet, made me feel better about. Because it's hard to think it will all happen at once. Sort of like golfers, Pat. You notice this thing? All the first-time major winners are guys that, like, never mixed. They're just getting there and winning. This consistent mixing, it creates this here we go again. The guys that break through are the guys that have never been there before.
So you're saying that like the Bills are dealing with too much scar tissue, and even the Lions maybe from the Goff era as well, that just they've gone too deep and lost too many times that when they get there, they're just inherently going to lose now?
Yeah.
That you'd be better off never having mixed.
No, but it just builds this scar tissue. It builds this thing. Now the next time Sam Burns is going off on Sunday, it's like this thing that's just built upon the last. You got to get rid of it before it starts. God forbid it's 0-4. I don't know where I go from there. I don't know where I'll go from there.
The draft.
God, listen, if it happens on the field, then maybe everything's on the table. This is a dark place. You wanted to pull this quickly, though, Tim. You've been sitting on that nugget. Jesus Christ.
Well, you said 5.
Couldn't even wait for an hour.
You've said 5-12. You have the Jets winning 13 games. Will you make a straight up bet with Geoff that the Jets will have more wins than the Chargers?
No.
You win on a push.
I will
you
not.
win on a push.
I'll even give you the push. What a
I don't
gentleman.
want to. I think it could.
Okay,
no.
I'll give you a half.
No.
A full.
No, I don't want to.
But I thought
You make that.
You said they were going 13-4 the last time we talked.
I no longer believe that.
So it's 14-3
No,
now?
it's I've scaled it down quite a bit.
Oh, how come?
5 wins.
I've scaled it down to like 6
We're going to
wins,
get to
7
week
wins.
1. Listen, Tim will be right. Don't play the Chargers week 1. You'll lose your eliminator.
Who did they even play week 1? I don't remember.
Arizona.
Yeah.
That is the pick for week 1 in Survivor.
Yeah, that's classic Chargers.
All right, let's get to a topic here. Let's get to a topic that the people submitted. Or maybe it's one of your guys' topics.
That's Tim's fault. That was Tim's fault.
Whatever.
That it started or we're not moving on?
I didn't say much.
So Geoff, pick a number between 1 and 17.
17.
Of course. Who wasn't going to choose that?
ESPN laid off a whole bunch of people, both on the college side, the broadcasting side, the production side. Yet, right now, another ESPN, not employee, but someone who appears on their network, Geoff, is going to be dropping a rap album and promoting it while all these layoffs are going on. Do you think this is good form or bad form?
I don't think it's good form. They've created a bit of a monster over there. But that being said, the shows just aren't profitable anymore. All that matters is live games. The cost to show the games have gone through the roof. They figure they just need like a couple tentpole people and the rest is just background noise. Their other problem, Pat, is back in the day, ESPN could make their own talent. If you were on ESPN, you essentially in some ways were a star. Right? But they controlled who became stars. Now the fact that they have to go out of their orbit and pay for stars, that's different. That's new. And that, creates this, I guess, current situation. But they can't make their own stars anymore in this climate. It is weird. It is a little sad to see what they have become. Because I like a lot of the bravo, the intense sports talk element of like barstoolification of it. I like it all. I still want like places to go where there's like no barstoolification. Just because I like my doses of, of some naughty stuff. I still want this other stuff to be normal, and they're not normal anymore. I can't even remember last time I watched them.
So, man, Matt, I'm not begrudging McAfee here. Go get your bag. And I don't blame him for the cost of them hiring his company to lease the show. That show was doing fantastic. Get as much money from $1 billion company as you can. But I just thought that it was not in great form promoting a rap album while this is going on.
No.
Yeah, that's a tough look. McAfee can be hyper cringe at
also,
times.
why does he have a rap album? Things are going too well, I think.
You think so?
When you start releasing rap out, like, remember Shaq's rap albums and Kobe's rap albums? Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes. Like, well, let's pump those didn't really work out for anyone. Anyway, I just thought it was a weird...
Got to save money when they're going to have to spend like outrageous amounts of money to re-up the NFL. They just spent a ton of money to keep the NBA. Like, they spend ungodly amounts of money to show the college football playoffs. Like, they have to put their money, like, they have to keep PTI on the air, and they re-up with them. Like, there's only a few things they absolutely got to have.
Yeah, Stephen A. in First Take, McAfee, and PTI for as long as they want to do.
Exactly. Those are the things they got to have.
Shows that they need to have right now outside of their broadcasting rights. A lot of these guys are making a lot of money, which I was stunned about. I think that most of them will land on their feet.
Yes.
And I think that Jeff Eisenband actually put this out, Jeff, and I completely agree with it that there's different things that you can do. Layoffs happen. Like I've been at 3 separate companies through layoffs as well. I mean, I was there when Jeff got laid off from fantasy, along with Paul, and almost everyone ended up landing on their feet. If you have good enough talent, you'll land on your feet. Or if you are an easy person to work with, that was his point. And I completely agree. If you're an easy person to work with and you are a reliable person, even if you have like a 6.5 out of 10 talent versus someone else who has like a 9 out of 10 talent but is incredibly difficult to work with, everyone's going to hire the 6 out of 10 guy 100 times out of 100.
Stress-free.
Just ESPN did this in a very dirty way, in the sense that it was inevitable when they got the NFL Network that there was going to be some like redundancy in the jobs that they already have, be it like on-air talent, be it, people behind the scenes. So at some point, which hadn't happened since they took over NFL Network or bought the rights to it, we hadn't really had that mass layoff that was coming. What was just really upsetting, or I guess what sucks for these people, is, they do it in late July when now these people are like, it's really hard. A couple of the top will land on their feet. A guy like Palacero can probably replace Rossini at the Athletic. We could hear about that in 2 weeks and be like, that makes perfect sense. Love TP. But just the timing of it, it's like impossible. Everyone else's spots, rosters, they've filled this football season. So ESPN could have, done this sooner and, broken contracts or let people go earlier in the process relative to the football season. But they'd yet to have this mass layoff since obtaining NFL Network. And you don't have to know much about business to know that was like inevitable. That had to happen.
I feel much worse for a lot of the NFL Network production staff got laid off. Like, that is a harder job to land on your feet from. Like, if you are a known quantity, Jeff, like, remember when Dan O'Toole got fired from TSN for like pretending to kidnap his daughter or something like that? Whatever the hell was going on with him. Well, he just got hired by a gambling company, promoted that, made some money. Like, these people have a big enough profile that there is a cash grab there for, whether it's a crypto type of thing, whether it's a sports book, whatever it might be. There's not that for the 5th editor who put together Red Zone or something like that. That's who I really feel bad for here. I've seen those guys, and even at the very lowest levels, like places where I've been working, and like once you're out of the business, you're just out. There's just not that many jobs. So it sucks. And the other people, they're making $2 million a year. Hopefully they stash some of the money away. You'd hope.
They weren't like Krusty with his ruby nose that he bought.
They're going to have to blow up a boat and take on a different persona. And all of a sudden they'll get a bit. What was his name? Krusty's fake persona? The life
Rory
of
B. Bellows.
the life of Rory B. Bellows was insured for an awful lot of money.
I was thinking more like when he had to have Johnny Carson and everybody come on to save him, and Johnny Carson said, well, I hope you're smart with your money this time, Krusty. Here's that Ruby and Krusty clown nose you ordered, Casey. Beep, beep.
What do you think this does to Red Zone? Because people got triggered by poor Emerson being on those commercials last year. And there was like 4 of them over the 8 hours of Red Zone. There's going to be commercials on it this year with ESPN owning it, like a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a Red Zone guy, so I don't. I feel for the Red Zone people. 4 commercials doesn't sound like a lot, but relative to 0, those are jarring. I don't doubt it.
Like 4 is like whatever. Even if you had 1 per hour, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But if you start taking regularly scheduled minute off here, minute off there, 3 times an hour, people are going to be pissed off about it.
Well, the public will decide. If they don't like it, then they'll unsubscribe. They'll not watch it that way. And then they'll be forced to adjust. That's how markets work.
We're like as golf fans, I don't know. I feel like we are.
The NFL is
nothing
very
Red Zone. There's nothing Red Zone could do that I think could offend me that much as a guy who watches a lot of
the
golf.
NFL is very responsive to these things. If their fans are outraged and they're frustrated, and the NFL will quickly to say, ESPN, you can't show that many commercials.
Will you buy Pat McAfee's rap album?
No,
Are you sure?
it could be performed outside, and I would
I
close
don't
the
even
door.
understand. That's actually like real.
Yeah. I think
Like, I assume
if
it
it's
might
not
be-
real, it makes this even cringier.
Well, I assume he might like get on his desk and like rap a song. I didn't know there was a whole album. Like he goes to the studio and thinks he's. Oh my God, people.
I hope our show can be big enough that Cust release a rap album.
I will not do that. I
No,
promise you,
no.
folks, I will never release a rap album.
But I would rather Cust like release like covers of like classic TV song, like intro songs.
Yeah,
Cust
exactly.
singing Charlie. I picture you like at the end of A Mighty Wind. Not a Mighty Wind. The end of Best in Show when Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara are just singing those songs about their dogs wearing the captain's hat. You can release that album. It could be Christmas. Cust does Christmas.
Well, you know, the Mayflower landed from here in Philadelphia. That's where the Pilgrims landed. It makes a lot of sense. Oh, no, that was in Massachusetts. Well, let the historians decide that.
All right, next topic. Let's see here. What do we got? Pick a number between 1 and 17.
13.
13 has been used, actually. That was the first one, the Mahomes
Okay.
question. What's that?
2.
2. Who would win in a game, Tim? A team of 53 Derrick Henrys or a team of 53 Fred Warners?
Jesus.
I think a middle linebacker is more versatile than a running back. Even an excellent running back. I think he could play more positions. I will take Fred Warner.
I agree.
I think Derrick, well, who's bigger?
I think Henry's probably bigger,
Because I think this is really what it boils down to.
but I don't think he's as versatile, if you know what I mean.
Well, he's thrown a touchdown before. Fred Warner
Yeah,
hasn't.
but there are lots of running backs have thrown touchdowns.
And very few linebackers have thrown touchdowns.
Well, that's a very good point, Pat.
Well, if I'm
nothing
asking
escapes that
someone to
ironclad
play
look.
quarterback, I'd prefer the guy with touchdown throwing experience.
Well, he doesn't get the opportunity. Okay, well, I mean, I actually don't think the Derrick Henry answer would be a bad one.
6'3", 230 for Fred Warner,
Okay,
whose real name is Anthony Warner.
I did not know that. Weird, wild.
I typed in Derrick Warner. Derrick Henry, height and weight. Derrick Henry is 6'2", 252. Feel like a bunch of Derrick Henrys are better on the offensive line, which is very helpful. Derrick Henry might be faster, which is helpful. I think it's 53 Derrick Henrys. What, Jeff? What if it was 53 Derrick Henrys and 53 Custs? The Derrick Henry couldn't go anywhere; he'd just get tackled.
250.
That'd be close. And Cust could also just get 3 yards of carry, plot his way down the field.
I'm giving you that first. I'm giving you that
kill a
first
lot
down.
of clock. 3 yards of carry. Henry'd be like, I never get the ball back.
My team is scoring more than 3 points in a critical game. I'll tell you that.
I think it's 53 Derrick Henrys.
Just saying.
No one can even take shots at you because it's too sad.
Great.
What year are we on for Jets not in the playoffs?
16.
You would kill to be 0-4 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I probably would. But, you know, if I had wheels, I'd be a bicycle. It
So
is what it
if
is.
we put it to a vote, Jared, what do you
I
think?
felt great about the World Cup final because I finally saw a team perform worse at MetLife Stadium than the Jets have ever performed. And that is saying something than Argentina.
Jared, would you take the Derrick Henrys or the Fred Warners?
I think I'd go Fred Warner. I think the pass coverage and stuff, like the entire defensive side of the ball, he would have locked down, I would think, because he has more experience.
Yeah, I don't see Derrick Henry locking down on a tight end
No.
on a crossing.
Yeah, but he's not locking down on a tight end. He's locking down on Fred Warner.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's not a real tight end.
Who's taller and bigger than he is.
He's not bigger. He's taller. He's not bigger. That's the whole point.
Yeah, he's got the better reach.
Derrick Henry has.
Okay, well then
25
take your
pounds
Derrick
on him.
Henry team. I'm going to take Fred Warner's.
Yeah, I'm on Cust side. Yeah.
Jeff, where do you weigh in?
Unless it's in San Francisco.
I'm on. I think it's 3-1. That's 3 Fred Warners.
Okay. I'd like to hear from the people which side that they would vote on. All
Right,
right,
Jeff
next
can
topic.
fight with them in the comments.
Pick another number, Tim.
Okay, 12.
Number 12 is Tim. What podcast do you and Jeff listen to, and what do you draw inspiration from?
I
listening to?
only listen to the Pat Mayo
That is the right
Experience.
answer.
I only download. I only listen to the Pat Mayo Experience. If there are other podcasts, I don't know about them.
All right, pick another number. I didn't realize I put that one in.
Okay. 14.
14. Tim, if you own an NFL team, what kind of owner would you be? What would his favorite perk be, and what would he take advantage of the most?
I would be a hands-off owner.
No, you wouldn't.
I would hire people who I thought were really good, and I would spend my time not worrying about the X's and O's. I would worry about spending my time working on the non-football stuff. I want to have the best player experience possible on my team. I am putting together the best practice facility I can imagine, the best amenities. We're like, you think of the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm 180 degrees from what the Cincinnati Bengals are doing. I'm going to make it so that my team is so attractive to play at, that the word of mouth about being on my team is so great that I'm an owner I want to be beloved, but I don't want to be famous. I want to be like, who's the owner of I don't know, what's a quick example? Who owns the New Orleans Saints right now?
It's still Benson's wife, isn't
Benson's
Is it?
wife.
But you have to the average person has no idea who owns the Saints. Great. That's what I want to be. And what's the greatest perk? Well, I get to sit in the owner's box. I get to have and I tell you right now, not just player experience, the food experience in the boxes at my stadium will be outstanding. So I will have only the finest foods in all the
Your
boxes.
players would get fat from what you'd serve in player dining.
Everything would be the best. That's the kind of owner I would be, where I would put my heart and soul and therefore significant wealth into that. I would not be hands-on because I don't trust myself. Not to be impulsive.
You say that now, Jeff. You can see it. Like the GM's in the draft room, Cust knocks on the door. I just watched this YouTube video of this guy. We got to take him.
I know my limitations.
No, you don't.
I know what I'm bad at. Therefore, I must put a Chinese wall between myself and the team being run.
I'm the owner. You listen to me.
I should not be making...
I sign your paycheck.
My
know
job
if
is to
it's
hire the
possible.
president of football operations, and the only game decision I make is whether to retain or not retain the president of football operations. That's it.
I don't know if it's possible, but I would be hyper present.
You would be Al Davis on the sidelines.
Hyper present while hands off.
Oh, shit.
Hyper present, hands off. The greatest perk
You'd be Arthur Blank.
I can never dream of would just be getting to walk in to like the training camp shorts and t-shirts and hoodie collection and pick whatever I wanted en masse.
In this scenario, you guys are billionaires. You realize this, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they created the scenario.
Yeah, but
and
you
the greatest
own
perk-
the team.
Well,
If
it's
you
like-
own the team, presumably.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this is
fine,
not
the
a King
greatest
Ralph
perk-
situation where like 7,000 people die in an electrocution accident. I'm now the owner of the Jets with the income that I
greatest
have.
perk is to get to know everything. Because
Finally
I
can
wish
see the
I
press
knew-
conferences.
No, but there'd be good.
Hold his own?
I would meet with the media, maybe
Why?
Once a year.
twice a year.
No.
Once a year.
Jeff would be doing a podcast every week.
Jeff-
about things
no,
that
no,
went
Jeff
wrong
would Al
and people
Davis-
who need to be held accountable.
Al Davis style. He'd have his Chargers tracksuit on the sidelines, walking back and forth and yelling at people.
And also
100%.
listening to something on YouTube.
Yeah, and listening to something that isn't game related. On the other, 100%. This is what you would, Jeff. You couldn't.
No, but I would hire just good football people. I don't pretend to know college.
I'm
players
self-aware
or
enough
X
to
and
know
O.
what my weaknesses are.
Yeah, like
I
I'm
need to
smart
put
enough to know.
a firewall between me and the team operation. I just need to lay back, enjoy it, go to every game. I'd also, as an owner, I would ride with the players on the jet everywhere we go. I would be an approachable
I don't
owner.
think that's uncommon.
It may or may not be. I don't know. I don't know whether
I would also. I mean, the greatest perk is getting to be in that locker room after a win when like Chargers.com turns that camera off, or that video's been cut. Because
greatest perk is that Lombardi trophy comes to me first. I'm the one who gets to
you know
lift it
what?
up
I don't
first.
even need to be own the team. I think I just need to be an equipment person who would get a ring, because all I want is the shorts, t-shirts, hats, and a ring if we won the Super Bowl. I don't even need to spend the billions. And I've told you, Pat, if in an alternate universe, if I don't have like a wife and kid, I would be like Connor Stallions, maybe.
Who's that?
From the University of Michigan.
Who's he?
Let's not retread this. Because the whole Harbaugh stuff when he left Michigan and
Like you just covert ops.
Oh, he was on cheating for Harbaugh?
Jeff didn't believe in the Argonauts enough when he didn't have a family and he was working for them, but I guess he does now.
I was working for them, but I never considered sign stealing one of the Rough Riders.
There's probably two Rough Riders then.
There would have
Maybe
been.
not, but I was just
the
making
original Rough Riders left in 96.
Oh, all
I
right.
was making a bad joke.
Next one. Let's see here. Oh, we get to hear a case from Judge Cust.
Now entering the courtroom of Judge Cust.
Verdict not based on law, evidence of common sense. Judge Cust. All rulings are final until he changes his mind in 5 minutes. He's got the power. Judge Cust. Case dismissed. Now get out of his sight. Judge Cust.
God forbid I don't put the wig on. Okay.
Yeah,
God forbid I don't put the wig on.
People were upset, Jeff, that he didn't wear the wig last time. Therefore, those rulings people felt were invalid and not final.
Do you people hear yourselves?
MayoMediaInc@gmail.com if you would like to submit a question for Judge Cust, a case. Would you like a really long one or a somewhat short one?
Give me a short one to start.
Dear Honorable Judge Cust, I recently placed a mobile order for a 2-for-7 farmer's wrap deal at Tim Hortons when I went to go pick up the bag. I instantly knew that it was too heavy to be the correct order. I double-checked the name on the order and what was supposed to be the correct order of the 2 farmer's wraps on the receipt in the bag, and they were there. When I got to the car, I checked the bag. There were 2 farmer's wraps, 2 sausage biscuit breakfast sandwiches, and 2 bagels. Since my correct order of 2 farmer's wraps were in the bag, I did not feel like it was necessary to go back in, so I kept the whole bag. My dilemma is that I knew that the order was too heavy to be just my 2 farmer's wraps. Should I have checked the order in the store where I may feel more obligated to tell the staff and lose out on additional items? Or am I justified in continuing to walk out, check my order in the car for what I ordered, and keep the whole order since my items are in there? Thank you kindly, Casey in Vancouver.
Bank error in your favor. Collect $200. You've done nothing wrong here. The bag had your name on it. The receipt had your order. You're not expected to know the exact proper weight of 2 farmer's wraps. You can suspect it might be heavier. Maybe they put a lot of napkins in there. You don't know. It's not your responsibility to do that. They are the ones who put the wrong thing in the bag. You did nothing to ask for it. You did nothing to encourage it. You were given the bag. It had your name. It had the receipt. What you received is a pure and simple bonus. You did nothing wrong. You're fine.
I am shocked this is your ruling. And also, how many napkins would you have to put into a bag? Hold on. Can you please let me finish things? You're not letting me finish. You're not letting Jeff finish. Can I finish, please? Now I'm asking you a question. Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, counselor. Go ahead.
Thank you. How many napkins would you have to put into a fast food bag before you felt like it was heavier?
Probably a lot. That was being a bit hyperbolic. It doesn't matter. You don't know that. You don't need to know that. You're not expected as a customer to know the exact weight. You have engaged in a transaction where you have tried to purchase something. The bag said it's in there, has your name on it. Now, you've done nothing. I don't think you're under any moral obligation to bring it back. None at all.
Jeff,
So
go ahead. Sorry.
This reminds me of a recent incident in the Open Championship with Scotty Scheffler and his ball.
Oh,
And he knew that it was beneficial to not find the ball. Because once you open that bag and leave the store and touch the other product, if this is an upstanding establishment or any like actual chain, they will probably won't even take the other food back.
and we know it is because it's Tim Hortons. We know it is. That's the farmer's wrap.
Well, no, because they might have tampered with it.
Yeah, the other
like
stuff.
they're concerned.
Yeah, they're going to throw it out. Yeah, of course they are.
So yeah, they're not taking it back. They're not like, oh shit, the person 2 people behind you ordered those. We're gonna take it from that bag and put it. I mean, who knows what goes on in Tim Hortons nowadays? It wouldn't have been there in forever. Whatever. That's a whole other topic. But most like a McDonald's, most of these establishments, because of just like the liability and like you didn't obviously tamper with it. That lovely lady didn't tamper.
But they
with
don't know
the
that.
thing. But they don't know that, and it would just be protocol. So you didn't cost them anything. There's nothing to feel guilty about. But it's like, Scott, you didn't want to open the bag in there because you knew you might find a surprise. So you left.
Even if you opened the bag in there, they probably still would have thrown the stuff out anyway and made new stuff.
What they
for the
would have
people.
said was enjoy.
Yeah.
Because they know they have to, they have to throw it out.
The problem is, to Pat's point, sometimes they would take it back just out of their own principle, but they would throw it out. So you're better off just skipping that ordeal. Like Tim said, congrats on your bonus breakfast. Maybe you gave something to someone at work. You had so much.
And I'm
I don't
sure
know.
sometime in your life you have gone to that Tim Hortons and they gave you one wrap instead, or they forgot something. I'm sure in the long
Or you
breadth of
said
your
no
life,
tomatoes and it was extra tomatoes.
That's it, right?
And now your lunch was ruined.
and you're too far away to bring it back. So you know what? These things have a way of working. If you're a good person, these things have a way of working themselves out to be even in the end. So don't worry about it.
This guy says, this is Jeff. I don't know if it's this Jeff or another Jeff. I think it's a different Jeff. So I'm on a guy's golf trip where a friend belongs to a golf club near Kennebunkport.
in Maine.
Except one day we needed to play 30 minutes away where a lefty 58-degree Titleist wedge was left around the green by a group before us. My friend drives his cart ahead to the group in front of us and asks if they left it. He comes back, handed the club to me, and said, hold it my bag as it's not theirs, to be returned to the pro shop after the round. I forgot and left the course. The next day, I realized it's in my bag. I am a lefty, and I needed a 58 to fill out my bag, and the wedge the rest of the weekend at Cape Arundel to use. It was particularly nice out of the bunkers and not returned to the other course as it was 30 minutes away. And I still use it to this day. Was it criminal not to return it or continue to use it a year later? Do I deserve the continuous snarky abuse comments, thief, by my friends when I hit a shot with it? And is that the club that you stole? Does it matter that it seems to be an older version of a Vokey wedge? Should I feel bad? I think there was no criminal intent. What do you say about the ruling?
There certainly was no criminal intent. I will agree with that. He wasn't intending not to return the wedge. But
let's hear this.
I think, given that you don't know whose it was, and it's only 30 minutes away, what would you want the other person to do? You'd want the other person to at least call the pro shop and say, hey, I've got this person's wedge.
Why? What if they were planning on returning a year later? Could they then just drop it off?
I'm not even going to entertain that.
No, I'm asking because what's 30 minutes? Why would they have to call? Like if let's say you found a wedge, why would you tell that person until the next time that you saw them, which might be a year later?
I knew this was going to happen. I think what you should have done is you should have called the club and said, I picked up somebody's wedge. I got it home with me. I forgot to bring it in. If somebody calls looking for the wedge, let me know. I'll bring it in.
I agree with that ruling.
That's what I would have
Why
done.
is that different than what you did?
We are not here to talk about that case. That is not germane.
Next
to this
case from Pat in Halifax. My friend stole a wedge from someone.
Did no such thing. And
my friend ended up accidentally had a wedge in his bag that he found. Now, we play with this person whose wedge it was once a year. We see him once a year. Was it he under any obligation, Judge Cust, to let that person know that he had his wedge before a year?
when he sees him next.
Then why isn't this person, next time he goes back to the club, oh yeah, I found this. Maybe he'll never go back. What is different between those two scenarios?
Fundamentally different.
Jeff, is there a difference?
There's a small difference. Tim's is more egregious.
That guy's
That's
playing with the wedge that wasn't his. and
Might as
seems
well
to
use it.
relish.
But the origin story of yours is more egregious because you actually are in a group chat with the guy. Once this other guy
who
with
never
the
writes, who doesn't
What does
participate.
that matter? Well, no one asked him anything or told him
Does he see
anything.
the messages?
I don't
Does he
know.
see the
You-
messages?
I don't think so.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I give a hard time to a couple people in my group chat who are just getting all the free jokes from me and my friends. Like, you got to contribute once in a while. There's a mutual third party who one of our other buddies had a beef with, and this guy was staying silent. And we're like, no. You speak now or there's going to be a new chat. I don't think your buddy, this is just a golf trip. He's just the silent guy because he's not local. Your crime is more egregious. What happened to this guy sucks. And I actually feel bad for him. And I've carried that like, oh my God, I put that wedge we found on the course in my bag. I meant to hand it to like a marshal or tell the guys when we came in. But the adrenaline or just you're just 12 holes later, you totally forgot. And all of a sudden this wedge is in your bag. It's an annoying feeling. Especially when it's like not at your club and now it's just random. I don't know. Once you pick up a random wedge from like a random uni, I don't want to encourage this, but if you're not returning it that day, like what the hell's your plan?
Jared got his 9-iron back. How long was that there before he even called in?
But Jared's at a club or Jared isn't a member?
Jared was at my club, but he is not a member.
Was the club labeled?
It was labeled 9 because it was a 9-iron.
Bang.
Labeled. Who has club labels? Do you have? Are your clubs monographed, Jeff?
Well, no. Everyone in the club, like under the handle, like has their there's like a name tag.
What do you mean?
I can go find an old one. You want me to go show you?
No, but he left his club at a hole. Like no one knew whose club it was. They just returned it to the club.
How would they know which club was yours if you left it on the course?
Good. Someone returned it to the clubhouse. You called the clubhouse on behalf of Jared, or Jared called himself. Was this club left? They had it. Bing, bong, boom. But once Tim's is just so egregious. I have not heard this wedge story. While it is, not the most ethical, I don't think it's as bad form as Tim's.
Agreed.
You people are deranged.
Have you found one person on your side with this yet?
That guy is playing with another person's wedge and it seems to relish
He doesn't know the person. He's not in a group chat with the person.
This person clearly has no intention of ever bringing that club back. He's made it his.
Finders keepers is the rules he's playing by.
Once this has never happened to me, but I can somewhat you pick it up in good faith. You leave the property. The property's over a half hour or more away. I don't know what I'm doing with that until I go back to the property. Once I go back to the property, it's not like it's labeled. Is it labeled for the old man?
I don't know.
What do you keep talking about labels?
Again,
why would a wedge be labeled?
You said this was at a private club.
But still, it's a fucking club. Like, why would I know whose club it is? What?
In terms of the teasing,
Does he
the
have name tags on his clubs?
I don't know. I'm very confused by this.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. It's not like someone left their bag on the course. Even then, I still don't have anything. You get some cash out of that, though. You ever want to rob me? Get my golf bag. Stuff cash in there.
Duly noted.
Well, there are a lot of people, for games on the course.
No, I get why you
people,
would. Yeah.
Like having cash around is good.
I get it.
And I'm not one to carry cash. This you know.
Yeah.
But just for my golf bag.
No, I get it.
Out on the course, I will spend cash. Okay, there's a putter.
The closest thing. This is an old putter that I used to use. It used to be my dad's on the top here. I guess you can't see it in the light. It just says the club. It just says his name. And the club, anytime you get a new club, the club will put this sticker on.
No, they don't do that at our club.
No, I can honestly say if that's common, it's nothing that I've encountered.
Yeah, me as well. Jared, have you seen this before?
No.
Maybe this
never.
is just the sort of thing that the Jewel of Jane and Finch does.
Well, it's a very nice course.
No, I think that's like a common thing at a lot of clubs. It lets them know, Mrs. Mandelbaum's 9-iron. Sorry, I didn't know. I was saying labels. Yeah.
And let's be honest, Mrs. Mandelbaum is using an 11 hybrid. She's not using a 9i.
And who is she? You?
Look, I think it's great. Hybrid it up.
One more. Hello, Judge Cust. This is from Brandon in California.
Hello, Brandon.
Recently, I went to Chick-fil-A drive-thru that had 2 lanes. I pulled into the right lane behind the other waiting cars. 1 minute later, a car pulled into the left lane beside me. When it came time to merge lanes, he was slightly ahead of me. I did not let him merge in front of me, and he proceeded to honk at me and looked angry. My wife said that it was his turn to go according to the rules. I say that I was there first, so I should go first. I would love to hear what Honorable Judge Cust has to say.
In my experience, it's a 1-for-1 situation.
In my experience, it's whoever finishes ordering first goes first.
Somebody from the left goes and someone from the right goes. Someone from the left goes, someone from the right goes.
So what you're saying is that if like I go into the line and you order,
yeah,
and you're there, you're in front of me, and there's another car in front of me, you finish your order, and the person on the right's ordering for like 5 people. I'm ordering a coffee. I order my coffee. I don't go in front of that person?
I think you...
Because in the queue, mine will be first.
Yeah, you're right, but I still think from my extensive drive-through experience in places that have multiple drive-throughs, I've always seen it as like the person from the inside goes, then someone from the outside goes, then someone from the inside goes, and someone from the outside goes. And it's like zipper merging.
Well, yeah, all else being equal. Of course.
I've never seen it otherwise.
Of course.
But this isn't equal, Jeff.
Yeah,
If I finish ordering first, I'm going first. And you can tell who's ordered first because those people start to creep up after they're done their order.
I think you got to yield to them.
I do
I
not.
think you got to yield to them.
You don't. That's coward driving.
Nah, I think that
I feel like we're already
we have to have rules. It can't be Ragnarok out here. There has to.
But
be
the
rules.
rule is whoever finishes ordering first goes first.
I think it's
That's easily the simplest way to do this.
I think it's 1-for-1.
I think you actually mess up the people at the counter if you don't go
You
first.
absolutely do.
Yeah.
I think
stand by my view.
They might have like
Unplug
a
myself.
car code. I would just say they're so goddamn efficient there. Like I wouldn't sweat any of it.
Well, then who goes first?
I think the other person might have had it, but
The other person, though, should not have laid the
hear me
horn
out.
out.
If I just ordered a coffee, I'd be going first.
Exactly. So whoever finishes ordering first goes first.
It's not my view.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Well, I just gave you another thing that also makes sense.
That doesn't make
That's
sense because
symmetrical.
now I have to wait despite the fact that I've already ordered. You want to go first? Why don't you order fucking
Tim, I
faster,
want to tell
pal?
you, I took advantage of dollar drink days. I got myself a large DC. It was around lunchtime, and the lovely lady at the drive-thru told me, that's not enough. I should have ordered more. Like I need to order more. A big guy like myself. I don't know whether to be complimented or insulted. It was.
I don't know.
Like
I would have been
12:30 in the afternoon. I rolled through for just a large dollar drink day. I just needed to wet the palate, and I don't know. She did a drive by on.
I don't know that I could go back to that location for a while. I would be. No, people at the fast food don't judge. Yes, they do. Example A, that person is judging you, Jeffrey.
I will say it's the location that's near the Jewel of Jane and Finch. So maybe they just got a different energy up there. They're a
Maybe.
little more sassy.
But you were judged by the person working at McDonald's. And it's not your friend who says hi to you in Shoppers.
Yeah, that's a home game.
That's a home game. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's not enough for you. A big guy like you. You should be getting more than that. What? What kind of thing is that to say?
So you're telling me if you came in there and got the 2-for-1 combos, she'd be saying that's too much for you guys.
No, I don't think she would. She'd say, "You're hungry today."
Yeah.
That's what she'd say. I was like, then I probably would have lost my appetite and gone home.
Looking around my place, I realized I didn't really feel like it was finished. Everything worked, but there was a mix of older furniture that never quite fit together. So I finally decided to check out Wayfair, and honestly, I was surprised by how much I could get without spending a fortune. I ended up grabbing some new furniture, some new decor, and once it all arrived, the space actually felt like a home instead of a place where we just lived. The delivery was seamless, the prices were way better than I expected, and I love being able to see reviews from real people before buying. If you've been putting off upgrading your place because you think it'll cost too much or you don't even know where to start, head over to Wayfair. They've got you covered with everything in one spot, from furniture to lighting to storage to decor. With Wayfair Verified, you know you're getting quality pieces that have actually been tested. I ordered from Wayfair, and honestly, I think you should too. Ready to upgrade your home for way less? Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home and get your space ready for less. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. When I was younger, money was always something that I worried about well after the fact. I'd look at my bank account, hopefully everything added up, and if it didn't, well, I'd figure that out eventually. As I've gotten older with a business and a family and a lot of moving parts, doesn't really work like that anymore. I need to know where everything stands before anything becomes a problem. That's what I've liked about Monarch. Instead of bouncing between bank accounts, investments, credit cards, spreadsheets, everything is in one place. It gives me a much cleaner picture of what's actually happening with my money instead of what I think may be happening with my money. It's like having a financial advisor, but in my pocket. It's great. My favorite part is that Monarch isn't just about tracking what you've already spent. It helps you plan ahead, set goals, and it even uses AI to answer questions about your finances or flag big spending trends before they get out of hand. It really takes a lot of the mental load out of managing your money. Write your own money story with Monarch. Use code PATMAYO at monarch.com to get your first year of Monarch Core half off, just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code PATMAYO. It's now time for me to pick a topic. I will pick number 1 on the board. What quarterback/coach combo is under the most pressure this year? Along the same lines, does getting a new head coach for someone like Josh Allen reset his grace period because it's a brand new coach? Or is there a more long-term? I don't know whether you think it is Josh Allen or if it's someone with a little more longer.
Where Tim's going.
Yeah, so why don't you say what you think? Because I've already sort of answered the question.
I'm just starting to think about it. Maybe Burrow and Taylor.
I think you can make a very good case for D'Amico Ryan.
It could be, but
I think
it's
they'll
hard
get
to
rid
argue
of.
that it's not like, again, this is the team Harbaugh envisioned. This is the quarterback. It's hard to not think Herbert and Harbaugh are podiumed here.
Because I saw the Aaron Schatz from DVOA talk about how his numbers for this year show not only are the Texans the best team in the AFC by actually a significant margin, they are the favorites to win the AFC.
You might want to rerun those numbers.
And I was like, really? That's very interesting to me that the Texans should be that huge of a favorite. But I guess they're expecting huge things from CJ this year. And
why? Why would they expect
I don't
huge
know.
things from CJ Stroud? If they're
I find it to be curious.
I
But I mean,
mean-
I also trust that they're running legitimate numbers and that they're not making this up. Maybe that, I mean, and they have pressure. They've stalled out in the divisional round, 3 years in a row? Like, you know, that they too, are sort of like a step ahead of the Chargers in the sense of where they're progressing, but they're still, they're in quicksand, and their division is usually pretty darn simple, that they're in the playoffs at least, if not division winners year after year. You got to actually win something.
They've dummied Flacco and Herbert at home and then lose the next game.
And Rodgers on the road.
Well, I guess I would spin this to, I agree with you with Herbert and Harbaugh. If that goes badly, they could both be gone. So they're both under the most pressure.
No.
Let's say 2 years. If they're bad, if this happens to Herbert's not going anywhere after this year, even if it goes badly. But if it goes badly again this year and next year, they're both probably gone.
Yeah, almost certainly.
There'll be a breakup there. If the Texans are bad this year, I don't think D'Amico Ryans is going anywhere. I think CJ Stroud is going somewhere. I think people pretty much identify that D'Amico Ryans, I don't know if he can coach offense at all. Eventually, you'll have to bring someone in to do that. But his defenses, he's getting the most out of these guys. His schemes are good. Everything is good. He's young. He's stable. I can see him being there. Watch him get fired at the end of the year.
He could be like a Cowher coach.
Honestly, like what Mike Tomlin
Or Mike
did.
Tomlin,
And I think he's a better coach than Mike Tomlin.
I don't disagree with you.
If we were to, Pat had the audience do the homework, which is great, and the questions have been great. If Pat sent me to go do homework and bring 2 topics you're hyper fascinated about right now going into the football season, could be macro, micro, I would say the contract of CJ Stroud and that decision, because this is a team with the 15th best quarterback in the league can go to the goddamn Super Bowl. a quarterback who will not lose them games. This is as dangerous a team as there is. This guy, like, what happens in some of these games? It's mind-boggling how he just keeps the door open for the opponents. Sure, he can grow still, but you still just feel like there's hyper regression based on how it all started. Now, as a Chargers fan, I've experienced it myself the last couple years. This like CJ Stroud 3rd and 19 is like the best quarterback in the league, but just a normal down and distance, it's just horrendous.
It'll be interesting to see what they do offensively this year, because all the excuses that myself and everyone has given to Justin Herbert about not being able to stand upright, I think you can apply to CJ Stroud as well.
To a degree.
He has no offensive line to work with, but they just seem 1st and 10, run. Oh, 2nd and 9, run again. Oh, 3rd and 13, make a play, CJ. Like that.
And the receivers keep getting hurt.
And that's exactly what Washington did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Except Jaden Daniels kept converting all of the 3rd and 13s.
What
Then last
Chicago did last year.
Yeah, and then last year he didn't.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't working out so well. You just can't put yourself into that hole every single time. And I don't know if that's on Stroud, it's not on Ryans because it is on Ryans because he's the head coach, but he will not be blamed because he doesn't coach the offense.
That's right.
And I don't think that you would just want to fire Ryans when you just keep running out elite defense after elite defense. That's the only thing you can hang your hat on.
I agree, and it's the reverse in Cincinnati where like they could just throw Taylor out the door.
See, Zach Taylor felt like he should have been fired 3 years ago.
He should be. Like Burrow's going nowhere, so they're too cheap to trade him anyway.
Well, they could trade because they don't want to pay him the money.
Yeah, I don't think even,
more likely to be the Jets quarterback in 2 years, Burrow or Herbert.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably Burrow.
Probably, but like we're talking like 1% versus 0.5%.
I have one
wait.
more sneaky. I don't know if it's a hot seat for this year, but the hot seat will be there if it happens. Campbell and Goff.
Oh, I don't think
Campbell's
not going anywhere.
Bringing up next.
Dan Campbell's not going anywhere.
I don't know if they're not good this year. That all of the credit for those teams will just go to Ben Johnson, especially if Chicago is good again. And be like, oh, what did this guy really do?
Mrs. Ford, the leash is really long there for Campbell. It would have to take
the coaching position.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Take a couple really bad ones.
It was really easy to go for it on every 4th down when the guy calling the plays was good at calling the plays.
Well, it's even harder when you do it anyway. Like to show you believe in the
yeah, but it didn't work so much last year because you didn't have Ben Johnson running very good plays that got you first downs. If he starts doing that this year, it's like,
yeah, maybe.
I'm unequivocally confident. I'm quite confident. I'd like to say that Dan Campbell will get to an opportunity to replace Jared Goff.
Okay,
like he'll get a chance.
I would agree.
to restart it with a new guy. I believe he will be granted that from the organization. Even if they get to a point where they have Goff turns into a pumpkin and they got to reset some things, Campbell will get a chance to give that reset a go.
Yeah, he's given the Fords in that franchise the most stability they've had since what's his name?
Barry Sanders?
No. The coach
Bobby Ross?
No, the coach who was good there for a couple of years, who I love.
Jim Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell. And Jim Caldwell provided some stability.
It's funny that you say Jim Caldwell provided stability. Do you know what he did? He made them what the Chargers are right now.
More or less. They made the playoffs a couple of times.
You're like, that's a good thing. You love that coach.
Except
Chargers are terrible.
He also had probably the greatest talented wide receiver in history.
And he had Stafford, who just won the MVP.
Who's very good. Yeah.
10 years later.
But my point is, I think Geoff is 100% on the money here, that I think Campbell will be given a lot of grace.
He may be given a lot of grace, but
it's not like anyone thinks Jared Goff's a superstar.
No, but does anyone really think Dan Campbell's a great coach?
I didn't think he would be. I now think he is, because he actually has decided to completely develop and stand by a position and like be unwavering about it.
Sure.
A great coach actually, sticks to his guns.
So, like, would you consider Jim Harbaugh a great coach?
I think he's a very successful coach. I don't know if he's a great coach. There's a lot of.
I think he's a great coach for like 4 or 5 years, and then people tune him out. I could see that. I could see Dan Campbell going somewhere else and having success. He feels like a guy that once you get over like his big personality, eventually you tune him out.
Maybe. I think
that's my observation on it.
I find him endearing. I think you'd want to run through a wall for that guy.
Tim, let me make this bet. If you think they're essentially equal, and I'll die on this hill. Who will leave their team first, Herbert or Burrow? I don't think it's fucking close. One guy's out in LA dating a celebrity. Guys in LA don't look to like leave LA.
Except for
They
LeBron.
just don't. Which great player? Who?
LeBron.
That is such a loaded example, and he's at the end, so
Shaquille
that's
O'Neal.
not fair. Guys in like a good spot in their career don't look to leave LA. Look at like Mike Trout. Just like, we can suck here. I'll suck here. Shohei just goes from LA to LA. Guys who are out there, they tend to stay there. Emo Burrow, he's gonna like. I don't think the odds would be close on that if you like had a real one made.
There are two more to look at, I think. Hurts and Sirianni. Just because they've won the Super Bowl. I get
They
that.
got to another one.
People thought he was going to be fired last year.
Yeah, well, people are they're nuts. No, they should
Ryan
have no risk.
Schottenheimer and Dak more though.
I don't think because Schottenheimer's so new. I was going to say Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels. I could see Dan Quinn being gone if they're not good again.
Yeah, maybe.
How about Canales and Bryce Young?
No,
to the
Canales
playoffs
is the
last year.
guy.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
Yeah,
like they
but
were
that
supposed to
was-
be bad.
And they were.
There's
They
no
were bad.
pressure on Canales.
Exactly.
There's a lot of pressure on Bryce, and there's pressure on the organization to make a decision on Bryce. I'd still be shocked if they kept him.
Like,
I'd
if they
still
don't
be-
have at least 7 wins this year, Bryce is probably done.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Then they can bring in Tua.
That's already been done for Atlanta.
Is he going to start? It feels like he is.
I would
Was
assume he
Penix
will.
healthy?
Yeah, but I think Penix is healthy enough. Like if Penix
I know a guy that bet both Penix and Tua to win comeback player of the year.
co-players of the year. What is Tua
No.
coming back from?
No. Well, that's a good question. That's a
Doesn't
fair
he fall in
question.
that category that we wanted to get rid of? That you can't just come back from being crappy.
Yes, he does. But you can be Sam Darnold, and people will ignore that.
Okay. Is KOC in any trouble in Minnesota if they're? Because
wouldn't think so.
I mean, you pointed this out. He made the McCarthy decision. They've already moved on from that. It seems with Kyle.
Well, the GM already paid the price.
I
think
guess
that
so,
price.
yeah.
I think the cost of that stupid decision has been paid.
Of every coach we discussed, no one would be free less, like for quicker than KOC.
I agree.
I kind of agree.
It seems obvious now, but if things go south for the Patriots very quickly,
No.
see one of those two people being gone.
I couldn't see Drake May being.
No,
I'll put it that
exactly.
way.
Yeah.
That might create a permission structure
No,
to show Vrabel
like
the
walk
door.
through it. They didn't walk through it with Vrabel to like fire him in 6 months.
Yeah, like
so
if
no
they
chance.
it's very clear they don't want to fire him because if they had any inclination of getting rid of him, he'd be gone.
I kind of agree.
No, 100. But if it affects the dressing
And
room,
yeah, you could
And they
have
start
probably
losing a lot
fired
of
him
games.
with
What's
Colin.
there to affect? It's the one thing I've never understood about this entire story. What do the Patriots players care? Honestly,
The question would be like, can they respect the guy who's their?
yes, he was banging some hottie. Of course they do.
I think he should still have his job. I
The
wouldn't have taken him from him.
distraction. That's the thing. They can look at him as a hypocrite when one of them gets in trouble and he accuses them of being a distraction. That would be the thing. But overall, I absolutely do agree with you. And if they had any inkling to want to fire him, which they obviously didn't, they could have. They probably could have gotten out of the contract with cause and not had to pay him. So they obviously wanted no part of any of that. I mean, they
think it
might
works out well for
naturally
them.
regress, and this thing will be like brought up as maybe one of the reasons, and
almost
it will
certain
probably be unfair.
to regress.
Yeah, like
You know?
they're probably not going back to the Super Bowl. Like, if they win 10 games, they'll have regressed.
They'd be lucky to win the. I think they're they're not even close to favorites to win the
Well,
division.
they weren't last year when you picked them and you won.
Yeah, and I took a lot of opprobrium from some corners, but that's okay.
But we saw this with. I mean, I'll go back to the last time the Jets were any good.
Okay.
What was the Rex Ryan playbook? Yeah, I mean, Vrabel can kind of break that out at any point if there are problems with the team. If any of the players, like remember the Steph Diggs stuff from last year that just kept coming up and coming up, and there was nothing really to distract off of that. It didn't end up hurting them in the end. But now Vrabel can just tell one reporter to bring up the Rossini stuff to Vrabel, then that becomes a cycle again. Then you don't have to hear about the players. He can take all the heat. It's a timeless coach strategy.
It's the weave.
I don't think Vrabel's as good
The weave?
on his feet doing the weave, but it's an easy deflection he can have from any of his players.
Don't disagree.
Where's Tomlin going to go next year?
Nowhere. I think he's done.
Really?
I think he'll enjoy retirement.
If
Very few guys-
If the Dak Schottenheimer thing goes awry, I could see him being the Cowboys coach.
Most guys, when they have a really long tenure somewhere and they don't get hired like that next season right away, they kind of don't come back.
So the answer is Herbert and maybe Stroud.
I think those are the two biggest ones. And like, cause maybe Taylor.
And I'd say Campbell Goff should be 3, but
Yeah.
not to be far. Like none of those coaches are going to be fired, but the quarterback coach relationship is under pressure.
Yeah, one of them goes.
Yep.
I mean, I would say the combo that I'm most confident is together next year is I don't think even losing in the first round or winning 8 games, the Chargers are looking to move on from Justin Herbert. I don't. I don't know where you replace that. We had Phillip Rivers for like 15 years. We didn't win a ton of big games. We lost most of them.
Jeff,
Like, we'll put up with it. Trust me.
You get to pick a number between 1 and 17.
5.
5. Who's got the best shot at going from worst to first in their respective division? It's got to be the Saints, right? Or did they even come last in that division? Did they come last?
Yes, I think they did.
It's got to be the Saints then.
I don't
because
agree.
that division just is not good.
I think it's Detroit.
Yes, you're probably right, but those other 3 teams are good. That it's more difficult to win they might be better than last year and just come second. Winning that division is tough. Whereas, as much as you guys are going to tell me the Falcons are like a stealth Super Bowl contender, they're going to go 8 and 9.
They got some talent.
That's what they're going to do.
They got some talent on that team. But I am also a big fan of Shuck. So
Since when are you a big fan of Shuck?
even the last year, if you go back, if you rewind the tape, you'll see I've been saying pretty glowing things about Shuck for a while. But
I mean,
I do think it's Detroit. I think they're the most
here's
talented.
the thing
last team.
about, I think Shuck is fun, but I mean, if I'm a Saints fan, I'm a little like nervous because the entire like last 6 weeks were pretty much against like tanking teams.
The Jets.
There would have to be like, I just need to see it quickly to get my good feels back. I think I don't have a better suggestion than either of you made though. That's for sure.
Well, here are your options.
Not the Giants.
Is it the Jets? Are you sure?
No.
I was once told they were going to win 13 games.
No, I don't believe that any longer.
The Cleveland Browns?
No.
The Tennessee Titans? Your pick to win that division last year.
No.
What? Year 2 at Cam Ward? Got your boy?
I just don't think they can
Don't
win
make
the,
friends with Salah as head
They
coach?
can win 8 games. I don't think they can win the division.
Raiders?
I don't think so.
Jeff-
Although if Mendoza's good, like he could.
Hold on a second. You
Mendoza's
got the
probably not
Chargers at
starting.
5.
I don't
So
think.
you've
I
already
don't
taken
think
away
Mendoza's
one of
going to be
them.
that great. But if
But
he's
Mendoza's probably not starting. Cousins is probably starting
for
him.
like 3 games until old man Cousins is.
Well, that
out.
would lead me to believe if
He's hurt.
even if Cousins starts, if they replace him, that means they're not good.
I
And
don't-
if he plays, that probably means they're not
I don't
good.
think it's going to be the Raiders. No.
So the Giants, Lions, Saints, and Cardinals are the other ones. So the only options really, Lions, Saints, and maybe the Giants if that division is terrible.
Gosh.
Because we haven't released the NFC East show yet. Like we all like Dallas.
I would lean towards Philadelphia.
I think Philadelphia is a lock to probably win like 10 games, but
I'll take
9,
that.
10, 11. The Cowboys could, like if their defense is fixed, they could be really good.
Maybe. I don't feel strongly about it. I actually think I like Washington on a bit of a rebound from last year too. So
But why? What did Washington do? In
they
your-
still have a really exciting, good quarterback, and boy, oh boy, that can cover up a lot of
sure.
sins.
But what else do they have? Nothing. They have nothing.
Well, that's still
They
something.
don't even have a wide receiver. Do you know who their wide receiver 2 is?
I haven't.
Traylon Burks.
Well, he made that catch last year on Sunday Night Football, which was tremendous.
Well, if he was on the Jets, he'd be a top 15 receiver because of
Anyway.
that one catch. There's a chance he may have been on the Jets last year at one
No,
point.
he wasn't. He played for the Commanders.
All year?
Well, it was a late season game against Denver when he caught that touchdown.
Yeah, I think he'd been cut from the Titans at some point.
Who was that guy last year who I told you caught the ball and you said he's been cut? He's not on that team, but he was back on the team.
Oh, I forget who that was.
So we were both right.
Yeah, who was
He
that?
doesn't play for them. You know what you're talking. I was like, yes, he does. There he
I
is.
think it was someone on Denver.
He got re-signed.
He got cut from Denver and he was gone. They just got signed the last 2 weeks of the season. Maybe it wasn't Denver.
Denver Giants?
I don't know.
It may have been the
It
Giants.
was a great day.
So in the end, it's got to be the Lions or the Saints. And I think the Saints have the easiest path to winning a division because they may only need to win 6 games or something to win the division. Because that division's stupid.
Yeah. I will say, not that I would pick them, but let's say the easiest division is the AFC South. If Saleh has put together, by all results, a pretty darn good staff.
Do we think that the AFC South is the worst division?
I think
clearly
the Colts-
the NFC
the
South
Colts-
is the worst division.
The Colts are a mess. The Jags, who knows? The Jags
Titans
have an excellent.
defense, one of the best units in football.
Yes, it is, but their quarterback, as we had just a good dilation about, leave something to be desired. I don't know. Like the Titans seem to have put together a very competent coaching staff. They have the first overall pick from last year at quarterback. If he shows further green shoots and Saleh, who has been proven, anytime he gets his hands on a defense, that defense is a top 5 defense.
I'm excited about him.
I'm not
picking them to win the
him
division.
either. But I'll tell you, if they found a way to thread 10-7 and Houston went 9-8,
Yeah, I think
then
10
boom,
but
like that can happen.
But I really think that 10-7 is probably their best case scenario
I
for
agree.
this year.
I
and then
agree.
even if they do that, the Texans could be better.
Particularly
and
when
the
they're
Jags,
0-1 in week 1.
The Jags could be better. And there's a chance Daniel Jones plays week 1. I don't quite understand how.
I
But
still think they're a mess, either which way you cut it.
they were good with him.
They went sideways the day they traded for Sauce Gardner.
They went sideways the day that also
No,
what?
no, doesn't
What
matter.
else happened besides trading for Sauce Gardner? Do
You know
do
what?
you remember?
It's so long ago. Who can remember?
Jeff,
who said
do
what?
you happen to remember?
Who can say?
In case people are watching the show for the first time, historian Geoff Fienberg of the show, do you remember maybe what happened to the Colts?
Yeah, the quarterback season ended. I assume is when the season ended.
Yeah, it was actually slightly
See,
before that.
Jeff remembers it that way too. Let's just move on.
Someone came on this show gleeful and changed his Super Bowl pick to the Indianapolis Colts. Do you remember who that was?
They didn't win another game.
Well, he went through about 5 teams in the AFC last year.
I did. And it almost bit me with the Patriots, but then it
Can
didn't.
we hold on? Who was so the Bengals, the Chargers, the Colts, the Patriots?
That might have been it.
Might have been it.
That might have been it.
Picking the Titans to win that division last year was
Well, like I took some swings. I picked the Patriots. I
Yeah,
picked the Titans.
you got
like
there.
you know, the
sure. Just I had my one and I hit it in
Yeah.
the easiest way possible. Carolina division winners.
yeah, when they won by two
but-
teams playing each other.
In fairness,
Deciding
under the same premise that I would probably bet the Saints. I mean, the Saints probably aren't even. They're probably ahead of the Panthers this year. You know, I haven't looked.
Probably should be.
Probably, but the reason that they can go from worst to first, that division is terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's not untrue either.
All right, let's see here. Oh, do you know what time it is?
What is it time for?
It's time for a mini version of Cust Corner.
He's the most insane Tim Too Rich, Coke fanboy impressionist, a murderer, a fast food lover, a nuts fan who'll curse your mother, self-proclaimed man of the most. He wants his credit, he needs to boast. Doctor, Top Gun, hipster too, whatever you call him, that's up to you. He's got a corner and it's Cust. Let's hear the hot takes and discuss.
I think I have to address this.
Is it about apologizing for stealing that wedge?
No, I think I have to address this because the fans would feel misserved if I didn't address this. What Coca-Cola is doing with the branding of Coke Zero is so dumb that I can't even begin to put into words how asinine this is. For those who are not as deep in the weeds on this as I am, and I know Jeff is, what they're doing is they're changing the for a better word, like the kit for Coke Zero. They're getting rid of the black lettering. They're going to call it Coca-Cola Zero. It's basically going to look just like Coca-Cola with the intention of really trying to elevate Coke Zero as their premium brand ahead of regular Coke and Diet Coke. And when people talk about how, this just shows what a surge Coke Zero has had, I don't think that's true. I think it's suggestive that Coke Zero is starting to lag a little bit, and they're trying to boot.
Now, if you look at sales,
Why don't you just say what you
no?
want
But
to say? Okay.
to fact check you here, when you look at sales, Coke Zero is surging and Diet Coke is on the decline.
Who's ahead?
Right now,
Diet Coke
I
is.
believe as of this year, it's Coke Zero.
I think regular Coke and Diet Coke are still 1 and 2. Coke Zero has not eclipsed them yet. So why they made this big change from being Coke Zero to Coca-Cola to Coke Zero Sugar a decade or so ago? And people were frustrated with that when they changed the branding and the look to make it look more with black lettering. Now it's going to be a can of Coke Zero Sugar is now going to be Coca-Cola Zero. It's going to look exactly what I don't like, and I've expressed this on previous corners, is this is a direct shot against me and the people who love Diet Coke. And we are the lifeblood of this corporation in a lot of ways. We keep it in business. And why would you do anything that might hurt the feelings of Diet Coke fans or regular Coke fans for that matter?
I have an answer to that.
You're the one who has this grand thesis that Diet Coke people are the fiends of the soda world and therefore the most passionate drinkers of any drink. Why would you do anything to try to like make them feel like they're lesser than and try to elevate a good brand? Coke Zero is delicious. I got nothing against it.
Sounds
I think
like
it's
you do.
quality stuff. I would never say no to a Coke Zero, but don't try to pretend like it's the original brand. It's your marquee brand. It's bronze. It's third place. It's the Snapple. Like that's where it is.
So Coke,
This is so dumb.
Coke Zero has overtaken Diet Coke in every market except the U.S.
Okay, which is like
And
probably
now
the market that drinks
the
the most
gap
soda.
is very, very close. Here's the issue, Jeff, and why you can put Diet Coke as the pasture. Do you know what DC actually stands for?
Medicine.
I got no clue.
Dinosaur clientele. The fiends that drink this shit are Cust and like 75-year-olds. They're all going to be dead soon.
That's not true.
If you look at the demographic breakdown of Coke Zero versus Diet Coke, young people drink Coke Zero, old people drink Diet
that's
Coke.
what people said about Pepsi 30 years ago. It was the taste of the new
No,
generation.
that's what.
and,
That's what.
and Michael Jackson was advertising it, and it was the young person's drink.
In
and
fairness,
that never
was-
really took
that
off,
was
did it?
35 years ago, and Pepsi said that.
Yeah, and it was wrong then. It's wrong now. Don't count us out. We aren't.
DC's a dying brand.
No,
It is. It's going by the time
I
that-
don't understand why Coke would want to do anything
because
to
they
endanger it.
have the fastest growing product for young customers. The way that they hooked people in with Diet Coke 35 years ago, they're now trying to hook in those same people with Coke Zero now, so they can have customers for the next 60 years.
What about those of us who are loyal Diet Coke
Because you're gonna be
customers
fucking dead.
who would say,
I'm also going to throw it out there. People who drink Diet Coke all the time, not in the best health.
It
Probably
is-
not on the high end of living forever.
you risk alienating your clientele to leave the
You
brand.
people are fucking fiends.
leave the
You're
brand-
never going to stop.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
You
Nowhere.
should go. Diet Coke is already the inferior.
Stop it.
It's inferior to Diet Pepsi.
It'll happen to Diet Pepsi too by this law. That Pepsi Zero will.
No, it's actually Pepsi Max, and Pepsi Max is delicious. I love Pepsi Max.
Sure, it's trash. But my point is, I think it's a risky endeavor. Every time they tried to mess around with Diet Coke, by the way, and I've criticized, I've been right. Remember when they introduced all those stupid little flavors? They all fell away. Remember, like,
Well, do you know why those fell away? Because those came in to try to attract the customer
youth.
base that ended up just gravitating to Coke Zero.
the youth want the regular Diet Coke, no bells, no whistles. That's what they
Yeah,
want.
okay.
The fact
Boomer.
that they feel like they need to.
I'm sure you do. You and your 70-year-old friends.
If Coke Zero is so great, why do they have to gussy it up with all this new
well, they're now
advertising?
they're now putting the marketing dollars they had behind Diet Coke into Coke
Also,
Zero.
how dumb is it to make your regular Coke can look like a Coke Zero can?
Well, they're actually even changing the name. It's not even going to be called Coca-Cola anymore. It's just Coke.
That's not true.
It is. That's what it says right here.
Like, no. What they're saying is that they want it to be when someone says, I'll have a Coke, that the default position for people is Coke Zero rather than a regular Coke or a Diet Coke.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But like, how dumb is that? Because obviously your regular Coca-Cola is still your main seller, is always going to be your main seller. Why would you do anything to people where like now you're bringing into risk someone getting a full sugar Coke when they wanted a Coke Zero or a Coke Zero when they wanted a full sugar one? And you're also alienating all of us who are devotees of Diet Coke.
Yeah, but you people are never going to stop drinking.
I just think there's dragons here. I don't think it's good marketing. I don't understand the logic. And I don't want to be an enemy of Coke Zero. I don't want to be. At least don't, because I think it's a delicious product. But like, don't do this to me. I can't. I don't think they're going to do it in North America. From what I read, they're at least going to trial it out. I think it's because they know that people in North America will be up in arms by this.
Also, the new font looks like Marlboro's font.
It kind of does.
It looks like you can drink a Marlboro Red Coke.
Just leave. I already have a fridge sig. It's called a Diet Coke. Leave it be. Just, you have the world's most recognizable product, at least the most recognizable food and beverage product. Just leave well enough alone. Go ahead, Jeff. I've said a lot. I know you have opinions. Why don't you weigh into that? I know you have opinions. Oh, please.
I don't really have one. It kind of caught me off guard. Zero's been growing on me a lot lately, Tim.
Look, it's a good product.
I actually like the caffeine-free version of it.
That's what
I'm
my dad
sure.
liked.
I'm sure it's good. I don't.
And you know the minis are getting steam because I see caffeine-free minis.
I
now,
saw
you know?
a mini with the World Cup stuff on it. I was very upset.
I like it. We populate our fridge at home with minis.
That's is that what the kids prefer? Is the minis?
Kids don't drink soda.
Oh,
It's for guests.
It's just a better serving size.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's the easiest to make a drink with.
Yes,
Okay, well, I'm not using
definitely
it for mix.
cocktails.
Not all
for
of us
sure.
are using it for mix. I guarantee you that 97% plus of Diet Coke is not being used as mix. It's being drank as Diet Coke.
Yeah,
on its own.
especially the full bottles.
These are not the full cans. They're just a regular can.
No, those are the king size.
No,
cans.
they're not king size.
We have the regular cans because you can dump an entire one into a glass, and that's enough for a mix for a drink.
It's just, I don't want my feelings hurt again. That's all. That's all I'm asking. Don't hurt my
Have you
feelings.
tried not being so soft?
I am not soft.
Well, how did you describe your skin again?
I have like tissue paper skin, but that's not my fault.
Soft.
Is that like for paper cuts?
Yeah, like I bruise very easily, and
Soft.
paper cuts very easily. Yeah.
You're basically built like a banana.
I've heard like old ladies talk like this.
Stop it.
They also love Diet Coke.
Also,
That's helpful.
You know what? Orange pineapple is not an old person ice cream. Stop saying that it is. It isn't.
I don't think I've heard.
Okay. Butterscotch Ripple is not an old person's ice
Yes,
cream.
it
No.
is.
Yes,
Butterscotch
it is.
anything is
No,
an
no, no.
old person.
I would give you like there are some old timey ones. I would give you not that.
Give me some that are old timey.
Like I would say Heavenly Hash is an old person's ice cream. I would say, we'll get to this point because this is also frustrating me to no end. I would say that Grape Nut is an old person's ice cream.
Tiger Tail. That
Tiger Tail, yeah.
revolting
I would say
flavor?
Tiger Tail is definitely an older person's ice cream. I concede all of that. It led me to this conversation. And I think this has got to be wrong. I was told that cheesecake is an old person's dessert. That kids don't like cheesecake. That you've got to be like well into your 20s or 30s to like be a fan of cheesecake. And that can't be true.
I don't think that I had cheesecake until my mid-20s.
See, that's
The only place I would ever get cheesecake would be like at a dessert after having an appetizer, a meal, and then if that was one of the few things as a dessert, I'd get like a slice of cheesecake, maybe. That's the only place where I would ever eat it.
like I remember for one of my birthdays when I was young, my cake was a cheesecake.
Have you
on.
considered the fact
My
that
grandmother
maybe
made a no-bake cheesecake, which was awesome.
For what?
Awesome.
Like, and your friend, like 8-year-old boys that eat this?
Yeah, I'd say it was 6, 7, 8, something like that. Was my
That
birthday
is-
cake that year. It was
have you
awesome.
realized that maybe you're the abnormal one?
Well, no, I don't think
This
I am.
is not a
I
universal
don't
experience.
think that cheesecake is like Werther's original. I don't believe this.
I think it's a cake for adults, not kids. For
I think
one
it-
thing.
kids
Kids like ice cream.
I don't
cake
think it's
and
a. do-
chocolate
I don't
cake.
think it's a. You can get chocolate covered cheesecakes.
I don't know if I'd want chocolate covered cheesecake.
I don't think it's old coded at all.
Have you
I
ever
think
been
it's
to the Cheesecake Factory, Tim?
once I got food poisoning.
Oh, that's too bad.
I still would go back, but
Was it because you were 6 years old and had some cheesecake?
No, it was many years ago, but I would still go back. Actually, it's funny you mentioned Cheesecake Factory. I've been getting a lot of Cheesecake Factory TikToks in my algorithm of like people who go to because they've got like 300 things on the menu. And so like there's just people showing what they got at the Cheesecake Factory. I don't know why I'm getting these TikToks, probably because I keep watching them. But anyway, it's funny you mentioned that place
I
specifically.
have the most like boomer life
But
cheesecake.
cheesecake doesn't code to me. It's a dessert for all ages. It
I
doesn't
feel
really
like
code
it's
old.
it is almost exclusively an adult.
Okay,
See,
hold
to me, like
on a
tiramisu is an adult.
Me
I
and
would
Pat are the ones here with kids, and will definitively say it is not a young. It's not for kids.
I've never seen a kid eat a piece of cheesecake.
That
Ever.
can't be so.
I've never seen a cheesecake birthday cake
Yeah.
at a kid's.
Oh, I had
thing
one.
either.
Yeah, again, you're the weird one. You're the outlier.
This is really weird. What does Jared think? Jared's the youth of the group.
I would say any man with a honey wand has cheesecake for his birthday.
All right, that is not helpful. That is not helpful.
Jared, did you ever have a cheesecake birthday cake growing up?
No, strictly dairy cream with the crust on the bottom.
Yeah,
ice cream
exactly.
cake. Yeah.
Okay, but that's not really my question.
Cheesecake's
My
pretty like rich, I would say.
Yeah.
like
It's
for
not
for a
no
chocolate.
You have because what kids want to do is eat as much cake as possible. You can't eat a whole bunch of cheesecake.
I did.
Again,
Have
not
you,
shocking.
Have you been any recent pickups from DQ of cakes that went unsold?
No, I have not.
No.
No,
No.
Just because you're not trying or because you're not there?
not trying.
Nah, fair enough.
Doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not trying.
No
But-
more
for
full
you,
cakes.
Tim.
But yeah, you can't just eat a whole bunch of cheesecake. You will feel awful.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you do if you eat a bunch of cake, you feel awful.
No,
Like,
not necessarily.
My point
I
was,
would now that I'm 40.
I found it to be legitimately flummoxing to be told that cheesecake is like old person coded. And I can't buy that.
Okay, so now that people have told you this, all three of us agree with that statement. How long will you continue on that this is wrong? How long will you have to find someone before they agree with you that's not
like,
in your
to
family?
treat cheesecake as it's like bridge mixture is just foolish to me. And I can't abide
And no
that.
one says it's an old person cake. Like mid-20s isn't old.
No,
But it's an adult cake.
Like at Jeff's Thanksgiving
adult
buffet,
dessert.
cheesecake's on the kids' dessert menu there.
What?
is it? No, it's on like the dessert. No. It's
Gotta
like,
be.
Why would it gotta
no,
be? Of
on
course
the
it's
dessert
not.
platter, but it's not for the. It's not with the kids. I don't know, Tim. This is a weird. Yeah, there's no. No cheesecake is. Okay, it's not like, how do I put this? I'm sure if I gave my kids a piece of cheesecake, they wouldn't like it. They would like it. In the same way, if I gave them like some jubes, they would eat like green, red,
Jubes
yellow.
are old coded? Jubes
Yes!
are like a
Yes!
Of course they
They're
are.
a candy that tastes like fruit. How are they old? Like if you told me the licorice ones were,
Because
I'd buy
if you
that.
put my no, hold on. To like
Licorice
my
ones,
kids,
sure, but like the green or red jujube is old. Give me a
Yes.
break.
Yeah, of course they
there's
are.
no
Every
10-year-old
kid was
no
eating those when they were
10-year-old is
10.
No, they
Everyone
weren't.
was eating
You know
those.
where they got them? From their fucking
Those are
grandma.
penny candies that we
You
were
go to your
all-
grandma's house, she has, not only does she have jujube,
we were
she has
all,
those really shitty
we
sugar-coated
were
jujubes.
all eating these at 7, 8, 9 years old. We all
Again,
were.
maybe you need to put yourself outside
Everyone
of
was
your
doing this.
one
the
bizarre
candy
living
game-
experience.
You got no idea like how the candy game is elevated since we were like 7 years old. There's no way my kids would eat them. They go to my aunt's house. She has them out. Then she complains my kids ate too many of them. That's fine. Like they'll eat the colored ones. But if they went to like a candy store
We
and
don't
got to
say
pick
colored, Jeff.
3 things, they would never pick the jubes.
No.
Full stop.
Yeah, like
Full stop.
like jujubes are gummy worm adjacent. They are gummy bear adjacent. That's what kids would pick, not jubes.
No, they would pick
Dad,
jujubes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, an 8-year-old is walking in and sees candy shaped like animals. They're like, no, give me that one.
No, like they're not like
Fuck is wrong with
like
you?
they're not. You're making them sound like they're like wine gums, which are old coated. No.
They're the same.
They're
almost the
in
same.
the exact same
Jujube are
category.
kids candy.
No,
Okay,
they
what
aren't.
about jelly beans?
Yes.
Also a kids candy.
No,
Old
jelly beans are
coated
for
candy.
old people. Like Mike and Ike style are for kids.
No, they're,
The jelly beans are terrible. For one,
Jelly bellies are not terrible.
I don't know what jelly bellies
They're
are.
excellent.
They're like gourmet jelly.
They're
No,
gourmet.
kids don't like that shit.
Sure they do.
No,
they
they
want
don't.
cotton candy and buttered popcorn and
They li-
chocolate
okay,
and
that's
s'mores.
different.
Okay,
That's
now you're
different.
actually putting in real things that kids like.
Those are the flavors of
Oh
the
yeah,
jelly
the
bean.
specialized
Oh,
flavor.
I thought you
That's
meant like
different. That's
that
different.
kids like buttered popcorn.
Yeah,
Yes, they
that's
do.
one of the flavors.
Not one of the fucking jelly beans that taste like it. They like popcorn. Again,
I don't
You were
know.
raised as an 80-year-old somehow.
This is what what our friend told me, and I don't think he's right. I refuse to believe that cheesecake and jujubes and orange pineapple. What makes orange pineapple ice cream old timey? It's orange.
well,
and
because it's
pineapple.
absolute
Aren't
dog
getting
shit. So when people are like 80 now,
It's
that's
delicious.
The game is elevated.
Yeah.
The game is just simply elevated.
the game has passed it by. When it was new and hot, I'm sure all those people who were like 16 when they had it, they just happen to be 85 now. And no one's eaten it since.
Like rum raisin. That's an old person ice cream. I would concede that, but not
how
not orange
magnanimous of you.
pineapple. But not orange pineapple. Give me a break. Give me a break.
orange, it sounds so bad.
It's
It
delicious.
sounds so bad.
I always had it growing up, but I did.
So again, because
It was
your
always in-
only baseline is what you had growing up, which all of us have told you, even not just the 3 people here. Everyone else you've talked to out in the wild has told you this is not the case. Yet somehow you think that your baseline for childhood is the lived experience.
I think mine was the average childhood.
really-
I really
It's
do.
30 years ago.
You also claimed that you had root beer when you were 1 year old.
I did, a
That is
full
not
one.
normal.
Well,
it's not normal shit.
maybe
Tim,
it-
the
it
kids
was
today,
then.
they're not
No, it
getting
was.
soda
I'm
lush.
older than you. It's not normal shit.
Tim, the kids today will never experience so delicious in their lunchbox.
And that's criminal. That stuff was great. The root beer so delicious. The cherry cola, the lime cola, the orange drink. Oh yeah.
So delicious suck.
They were so
no,
good.
What again? This goes to what don't you think is good? Everything is so good to you.
A lot of things are good.
Yeah, according to you.
I don't like Sour Patch Kids.
Which is see, this is the weirdest.
I don't like
one.
sour sugary candy.
Okay, so you don't like sour things.
I don't
Sour
like
Patch
fuzzy
Kids are
peaches.
the
I don't
nuts.
like cherry blasters. Like I didn't like the sour ones. I like the
Tim,
ones that aren't sour.
I got to see my kid who's at overnight camp. Got to see her last weekend. I brought I went to the Dollarama and just loaded up all the favorite candies. I don't even think Jubes were available.
I bet they were available.
Yeah, like under the Dare products, old ladies. would
Yeah,
buy
right
it.
next to the Werther's Originals.
And the mint, and the
Jujubes come.
Scotch
You
mints.
kids get them at Halloween for God's sakes.
No, they don't.
What are dots but Jujubes? And,
Okay, what the
and
fuck are
dots come
dots?
in, and everyone gets those at Halloween.
You know, like
When was the
Jujubes
last
is like
time
the
you
LA
participated
Bennett's
in
thing.
Halloween,
They
sir?
sell them at
When
the
was
store
the
every
last
year.
time you
Bennett.
participated in Halloween?
Jeff knows.
When was the last? Answer the fucking
I don't know.
question.
I don't know.
Give me an estimate.
What do you mean by
Juji fruits,
participate?
right?
When was the last
From
time
the
you went
Seinfeld?
out and got candy on Halloween? 'Cause
Oh.
You don't have kids. You're not around kids bringing home candy. When was the last time you went out for Halloween?
Like 25
Do you
years.
think things may have fucking changed?
I still see dots sold at Halloween.
Shit is sold all the time, everywhere. Doesn't mean people are buying. Imagine going to a house and getting fucking dots, Jeff.
They weren't my
Yeah,
favorite
no,
either,
and
but
that
you
shit
got
is
them.
sold because there's people that still have nostalgia from it, and
Yeah,
enough
you would
people
buy it.
it.
And you would be the person that the kids would come home like, what the fuck is this?
They still give them out. Like
No. Okay. How do you know what people give out?
Well, okay. It stands to reason that if
No,
they
it
sell
doesn't.
them
You
with
know who
the-
knows? Jeff and Pat, who walk around with their fucking kids and get candy.
If they sell them at Sobeys with the Halloween stuff, that some people are going to buy them and some people are going to give them out.
You will get maybe one bag of dots,
Okay.
and the kids don't eat them. It's not a popular candy.
I mean, they weren't my favorite either, but I certainly liked them.
You
What's
might
the
be
roll?
just out of touch on this. It's okay. I'm out of touch on a lot
I
of
don't
things.
want.
I just don't have definitive statements about
I
it.
certainly
Like,
can
why are
appreciate when
you
I am out of
so
touch.
Afraid?
But
Why are you-
how many people need to tell you you're out of touch before you believe it?
Oh, I just-
as you stated earlier when you're going to be the Jets owner, that how
It's just-
much you're self-aware and know what's going on.
It just cannot be. I don't like to believe I walked through this life blindfolded.
So again,
You
now
didn't
you're
walk
living
through
your
it.
truth.
Things just changed. Things changed.
Yeah, apparently there's this
candy
new
game-
ice cream. I didn't know about it called Monster Cookie. I was told about this.
Sounds
I've never seen it.
Oh yeah,
It's
and
like
you're
a
gonna
blue
tell me
ice.
pineapple mango the kids are gonna get when they've upgraded to Monster Cookie, and you're wondering why the kids don't get your stupid flavors.
Yes, I hated those kids' flavors when I was young, like bubblegum, cotton candy.
Those are kids' flavors.
I didn't like them when I was
Again,
a
you
kid.
were raised as an 80-year-old. Apparently,
Yeah,
with
my kid
everything that
gets
you've
them-
told us, it's just a bunch of old people stuff.
Like,
They
is
didn't give-
vanilla
my
ice
kid
cream
gets
They
old?
didn't give you. Well, I mean, vanilla ice cream.
Is that old?
Are you getting it in a soft cone?
No, a hard scoop of vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, that's for old people.
Old coated.
That's really old.
Old
Or in a
coated.
banana split, I guess.
Yeah, like a soft serve, like that's just. What
Well,
you
that's
get.
what comes with
That's what
Derrick.
comes
cream,
with it. Yeah, if you're getting a.
Coated.
You know who loves a scoop of vanilla ice cream? My 90-year-old grandmother.
I think everybody likes a scoop of vanilla ice
Yeah,
cream.
of
who
course.
likes
Not
it's
when
still
other ice
old
cream is
coated.
available.
Vanilla ice cream is old person coated, or like when you give your kid ice cream for the first time. But once your kid is at that parlor and he's picking a flavor, it ain't vanilla. Ever.
Correct.
How would you respond if that's what one of your daughters chose, was vanilla?
I would be really surprised. They like stupid, gross ones with like bits of gummy worm in
That
them.
sounds terrible.
It is.
What if
but
it was
it's-
bits of jubes?
No, not for ice cream. We don't need all these. I think there's a tyranny of like outdoing yourself with these fancy, weird,
I agree.
fringe ice cream flavors. You
I
need like
agree.
6 and you're good.
Well,
You just were going on about golden shower pineapple or
No,
something.
like just make 6 or 7 ones really well, and that's enough. Make your chocolate, vanilla, strawberry,
Also,
Neapolitan.
how much ice cream are you eating that you have serious opinions on ice cream?
Over the course of my life, I've eaten a lot of ice cream and feel very strongly about it.
Well, it sounds like you're eating all the old person ice cream. You missed out on a whole generation of kids'
I've
ice cream.
seen it. It looks gross. It looks gross. Who wants like peanut butter cup ripple? I don't want that,
sounds-
nonsense.
that sounds-
I don't
that
want that
sounds good.
nonsense.
So you haven't
you know
tried
what's
it.
forever, Tim? Those Oreo ice creams.
Oreo ice cream is great.
Why is Oreo ice cream different than like peanut
No,
butter
the
cups in your ice
sandwiches.
cream?
Like the ice
Oh,
cream
the ice cream
sandwiches.
sandwich.
Oh yeah, those are
Those-
great. Those are
Those
great.
are like those have remained top
Oh yeah,
tier.
those are great. But are those like only for octogenarians as well?
You know what I would say? That something that I used to eat as a kid, which is most likely old coated now, are like fudgesicles. I bet you those don't just like go around anymore.
Well, who's eating
Creamsicles
fudgicles?
are probably
No one
more
is what I'm saying. I had them when I was a kid.
I did too.
Yeah, I bet you kids don't eat them anymore. If I had to guess.
Yeah. Well, Jeff mentioned creamsicles, probably very similarly. I like fudgicles.
Got a few more football questions if you're interested.
I guess. I'm still absolutely waylaid here.
Jeff, if you could get rid of one rule in the NFL, what would you get rid of?
Off the top of my head, I'm just trying to remember being angry, and I think it's the new kickoff rule, because based with where they're getting the ball in combo with the talent level of the kickers, I don't like it. I don't like being one little blood dump screen pass away from a field goal range. So I don't like the kickoff situation at the moment.
What rule would I really like to see changed? I think I'm against the spot foul on pass interference over 15 yards.
You would prefer they do college and CFL rules?
I think so. I think I'd prefer that. I think sometimes it's too for calls that are just oftentimes just too judgmental. I mean, maybe there needs to be sort of like the way the face mask used to be 5 and 15 yards, and you could award depending on how egregious it was. Maybe instead of getting rid of the spot foul, you have pass interferences based on how egregious the foul is.
Yeah, because you would have egregious pass
That's it, right?
interference.
So
I
like
think.
15 yards for incidental or lower level pass interference, and like spot fouls for like egregious
and
pass
no
interference.
offense, I think the college rule fits and the pro rule fits because I have a lot less confidence that college kid's actually going to make that catch. Well, those pros, man.
Yeah. So I think that's
You
what I think I would equip the referees to have a little bit more judgment on pass interferences, and it would reduce like a 60-yard pass interference. It's not just the tangling of feet, and even if you're going to call it, maybe it should just be 15 yards, and that can sway the game. I think if I were going to get rid of a rule, that would be it.
I think you should be able to hit the refs if they make a bad call. Keep them accountable. Take that rule out. You can't touch the refs. Make it more like wrestling, like Tom Brady, big into wrestling now these days.
Is he?
Yeah, isn't that a thing, Jeff? Didn't he sign with the WWF?
No, he's just like engaging with this like
Why
bullshit.
why is he doing it?
Oh, well, I'll tell you exactly why, and it is not complicated.
Well, is this your GMZ? Because GMZ is the next thing out.
Yeah, so we can make this GMZ, like this Tom Brady aura train going in the absolute wrong direction, and people sort of noticing at once in unison. Let's start from the obvious place here of why this is happening. Why is this happening? Tom Brady has like one true goal right now. I think he's 25% of the way there, probably roughly around $1.5 billion. He probably needs closer to 4.5 to get the 51% from Al Davis, Mark Davis, or someone else. That is his absolute life goal, and he will do nothing. He will say no to nothing. He will destroy his aura. He will shill everything. We're 18 months away from Brady reverse mortgage season. His goal is to own a team, be 50.1% owner of a team. The Saudis bailed on that flag football nonsense that he was going to make the moon on, and he's got to find a way. He's got to find a way at the moment to, I guess, make some of it back. But unfortunately for Tom, it's, well, some people have been pointing it out. It seems like the internet in unison, he's like crossed a line for people that maybe this on its own would be fine, but on top of everything, and like, what does he stand for? He just stands for the dollar. Michael Jordan, like, there's still an aura. When he opens his mouth, when he shows up somewhere, there's like still an aura. Brady is working hard to destroy that aura. And once you really do break it down, and I mean, Brady, I said on this pod, Pat, we've been doing this a decade, whatever, like one of the coolest males of all time walking the earth. But, not everything has gone his way. There was that crypto scam that he wasn't involved in the scam, but he lent his name and his likeness to it. That went horrible. There was, some heavy allegations of junk science as it pertained to TB12. But if you look at Tom, it's, hard to maybe follow through on that. Something's going right there. But he preaches this love of extreme fitness and health. He's doing Pizza Hut commercials. Some see the contradiction there. He did strong arm his way into that ownership position, and everything is following from there. People think like he's not considering for a second any of the noise as it related to his, he doesn't care about the conflict of interest. They're paying him so much money, and that Fox deal is like almost $500 million. It's on the pile of what he needs. Yeah, I don't know. There's just been some things. Oh my God. And like everywhere you go, you see him with like the devil, Michael Rubin. It's like Epstein Sports.
Jesus Christ.
I don't mean in anything like that, but I mean like sports fan, like, no. Him, no. So yeah, Brady, even like hardcore Patriot fans are having a tough moment right now.
Like when you type in Tom Brady, do you know what the first result that comes up besides Epstein adjacent Michael Rubin?
No, I have no idea.
Tom Brady versus Logan Paul rivalry. Is Logan Paul paying Tom Brady to engage in this with him?
No, it's wrestling. It's going to be a wrestling match this will result in a wrestling match that probably takes place in Saudi Arabia.
What is going on
like
with
extra
wrestling?
Money in it.
I haven't watched wrestling in a good 15 years. What is maybe 20 years? What is happening here?
Maybe the
Well,
McMahon's
Logan
being
Paul
gone,
has been
left. Everything's gone crazy.
There's two Paul brothers. There's Jake, who's like, boxes. And
Yeah,
does
there's
his
the
thing,
guy
and
that
it's
got his like face broken.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there's Logan, who's just more of like the entertainment. He does the WWE. I've sort of been out of the WWE thing for like a few years. Maybe when my son is older, I'll get back in. But yeah, so they're creating this thing, and it's just so goddamn cringe. And it's funny. It's funny that the wrestling is the line, Pat, because so many famous athletes have participated in wrestling. So,
Yeah, but it's the ones that you would expect, like Gronk being involved with wrestling makes a lot of sense.
Jason
yeah,
Kelsey.
no, Gronk, even Shaq, Rodman.
But that makes sense. Like Karl Malone to me never made sense being teamed with DDP. But to have the Rodman in the Bulls and Jazz final, that made some sense. Tom Brady is a 50-year-old man.
And people, I guess, feel like he's
Steve
just
Young out
above
there.
this.
It's like
People feel that he's above this. Yeah, no, there's like a stank on the Brady brand. If you're paying, like, he's such a slut, he'll do anything. There's nothing he won't do.
Which
for
is
the
bad
price.
because I thought he actually was really good on commentary.
He was better last
year.
year. He was
Like,
definitely
really
better.
Getting better
improved.
at that.
He really improved.
He was
I
better.
just figured like this would be his focus. Is there just a chance that he is?
Midlife crisis?
I was gonna say a bit of midlife crisis, but also maybe he's less socially aware than Cust is.
I'm socially aware.
Okay, sure, they're raisin rum.
I said that's an old person ice cream.
Sorry, golden shower pineapple.
Orange pineapple is a dessert enjoyed by
Like,
everybody.
is there a chance that Tom Brady is just super athletic Cust?
I don't know. It's so like you're Tom. I don't know. And he's gotten
I
so
take that
good
as a
at
compliment, I think.
I don't know.
I don't know
He's
if he
not.
would.
I
Like, is there
I
no
don't
one in his
know.
life being like, Tom, maybe no?
No, there isn't.
Is it because he broke up or cheated on them all?
I'm not here to
How
add.
did you ruin that aura though?
And he had it. He had it. So we're gonna.
Belichick's aura has been like diminished. His aura has been diminished. Robert Kraft's has been diminished. I don't know. Seems like Satan's not looking after his children anymore.
Well, if it keeps going like this, in 10 years, the conversation will be maybe Joe Montana is the GOAT.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
No, because Brady will save it as long as he's still doing the NFL.
Maybe, but not if this shit is going on. People will turn on him so fast because the one thing that
People
Tom Brady,
hate weird stuff.
They do. They just hate people being weird.
And
And you know what Joe Montana wasn't? Weird.
And people have a very, very acute
Corny.
sense of smell
I
for this
think
type of stuff.
Look, guys, look at and I know they're not, well, LeBron is on the level. Russell Wilson's like a few tiers below. But like the second you go to this like corny phase, yeah, people really do they don't want any part of that, the corniness of some of it.
And LeBron's was always baked in because he was kind of always like that. So he can kind of get away with it. But I do think that the biggest differentiation outside of the age gap of people having watched them play between Jordan and LeBron is Jordan seems like a killer and LeBron seems kind of soft based on their personas. But Tom Brady also had the Jordan killer persona. Same thing that Kobe had.
Yeah, it's true.
And if this keeps going on, then that's going to get erased from it. No matter if it, obviously, his career is over. He was a killer on the field, but it won't seem that way if he keeps being weird.
Pat, the funniest thing I think I've seen relative to Brady and the internet in the last couple of days was like a grown-ass man Patriots fan almost in tears that he is going to have to Tom Brady is going to be like a TikToker to his children, and that breaks his goddamn heart because Tom Brady was his whole life, and he's really just going to be a TikToker to the next generation.
Great.
You're enjoying this.
If he becomes a TikToker, you'll be like Tom Brady rules.
I got a lot of scar tissue. So
and don't get me wrong, and Tim brought it up after the season. But for Patriots fans, this is corny on top of him saying he had the no dog in the fight at the Super Bowl comment.
That was a dagger. Oh my goodness.
That was so.
It'd be one thing if he was calling the game and had to pretend to have some level of objectivity. But I got no dog in this fight. Why don't you just put on a Buccaneers hat when you go into the Hall of Fame at this point? Oh my goodness.
Maybe he'll try to put on a Raiders hat.
Amazing.
You know what? If there was a company that had enough money, he would take B. Wade Boggs, go in the Hall of Fame a Rays hat. I'll call the shot. Someone can pay me to do this.
If there was a live version of football in 2014, Tom Brady would have gone to live football.
This is where I was going to go to, is that Brady's turning into Phil Mickelson somehow, not with the weird super allegations, criminal allegations, but just all the weird stuff that Phil did over the past 10 years. Brady's now entering the Phil zone.
There was a lot of weird stuff.
What's highly probable is Brady as the face with the Saudis end up buying out Mark Davis one day because he's lucky. Mark Davis isn't one of these guys who's Dad invented Home Depot. No. This is just a family business. It's family money. These are the teams that will be susceptible, to private equity, to the most susceptible. They're all susceptible to the Saudis. And Brady could probably, I guess the Saudis are winding down their sports. So this is a bad time to bring that
They have
up.
a World Cup to build 15 stadiums for.
Oh, they'll be done tomorrow. Just like when they were going to build that city in the desert that was just a straight line.
Yeah, it's weird. It's so unbecoming.
Yeah, it feels wrong for a person of his stature within a sport.
It feels sad, but as someone who has hated everything to do with the Patriots for a long time, I can't bring myself to feel bad for their unraveling at least the memory of them will be in some ways. If people have to defend at some point in their lives being fans of Tom Brady, that's about as good as I could hope for at this point. That's about the best case scenario that's left.
That brings us to this next question, and it's an interesting dynamic based on how their post careers have gone. Someone asked, who is the next Brady versus Manning type of rivalry if you had to guess one today? I think there's a very clear answer that we would all agree on. But to see them, the personality that they had on the field, Manning's personality on the field matches his post-career stuff. He was kind of goofy. He wasn't the consummate winner, but he was still known as probably one of the 5 best quarterbacks ever. Mm-hmm. And he still has that authority, but he's relatable.
Yes.
Whereas Brady always seemed kind of a super
crazy person.
a crazy person about being the best.
Yeah.
That this personality now doesn't match that. that Manning's going to age way better than Brady, it feels like.
I agree.
And I think that the easy answer to this is just Allen and Mahomes. Because it's as one-sided as Brady Manning was until Manning finally won.
I was going to say, it's not really a rivalry till Allen starts winning something.
Yeah, but you have to give it to play it out. Like that, we're in the midst of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, Omaha Productions right now, as I Googled it, is valued at around $750 million. That's not to say Tom Brady doesn't have successful things that he has started. But yeah, Manning found like a lane. He found something perfect for him. There's kind of been these rumors that he himself is maybe looking, wants to run a team. Also, Brady, I guess in many ways beat him to it. The only thing on Manning's, blemish is he had steroids sent under his wife's name, which is pretty savvy.
And no one cares.
No one talks about
The guy
that.
who's coming off a broken neck. No one cared about it.
Yeah, it was neck surgery.
Yeah.
I actually, maybe we're an apologist. I am in the camp of like kind of a free pass there.
I'm honestly a free pass for anyone in the NFL doing steroids.
Depends, I guess.
Like it helps you recover faster. There's no sport that is going to annihilate your body, and your career is so goddamn short.
Certainly no one seems to take any steroid abuse as like a blemish on their legacy. Like you don't hear of anybody being kept out of the Hall of Fame
because of steroids. I think people expect football players to use steroids.
It's just, for whatever reason, it's not the barometer.
So I've spoken about this before on the podcast, but in a way that for whatever reason, baseball writers felt it was like their job to hold this game to a level. Peter King, Jay Glazer, they probably knew how much steroids were involved, that it's kind of a silly thing to say, but it was the game. Without the steroids, football might be harder to envision. But they weren't there to like protect the sanctity of the game that the way baseball writers felt it was their oblo.
And probably if football had become the biggest sport in America 45 years before it did, there may have been that residual kind of feeling from writers where baseball was to protect that history in the sanctity.
Also, people who were journalists and writers 45 years ago understood the profession differently. Understood themselves as professionals differently than they do now.
Well, yes,
but they felt like baseball had to be saved or protected because it was
like there was something really buttoned up, almost very objective, very analytical.
No, see, I would disagree. I think that those people protected the game, as in they protected the players and all the shit that they were doing.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying
they're supposed to be like the journalists that we look up to. They had all the shit there, and they never said shit about it.
No,
they knew.
You got people,
they knew.
I know, but you got people like I work for the Washington Post. We broke the Watergate scandal. This is the type of institution I work for. I work for the New York Times. We're the great gray lady. I work for the Los Angeles Times. We've got the biggest circulation. Like you understood your profession differently vis-a-vis your institution.
These people didn't tell us what was going on, and they knew.
They told us, only some of the stuff.
Well, I don't want that.
I agree. I'm not defending it.
Probably had baseball writers in like a newsroom, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s had like the biggest egos in the sports department.
Oh, sure.
They ran it. So football guys were probably just like they were much lower on the totem pole that it wasn't their job to like protect or like feel like they had to like hold the sanctity of the tradition of everything like baseball did.
So do you think it is Mahomes? Allen is the closest that we have to this? If Allen picks up a Super
probably.
Bowl, or if Allen just beats Mahomes in the playoffs, doesn't even win the Super Bowl, goes to the Super Bowl, loses, whatever, just gets that win over Mahomes.
Yeah, he has to win a Super Bowl now.
Okay, so let's say the Bills win the Super Bowl this year. Does that evolve into...
Yeah, then it does. Then it absolutely does. But until he wins one,
are there any other contenders? Because even if, let's say...
Mahomes?
No, I don't think so, because there's never been a...
No.
Like, Lamar, it always feels like Allen and Mahomes have had this, like, direct... They're the two being compared. Lamar has the 2 MVPs. Lamar's great. If he wins his Super Bowl, I don't think that puts him in the face of Allen. It might even be Lamar Allen.
And, 2 years ago, had he beaten Mahomes in that championship game and won the Super Bowl, we
Maybe.
might be talking, but he didn't. So, yeah. I don't think, other than that, I don't think there's anybody else on the horizon.
Dak Hurts.
Yeah. Hurts Philadelphia Eagles fans.
There's something, because Stafford's going to retire. Darnold just got there, and Purdy is Purdy.
Who can say?
Like there's something there to that, but it hasn't evolved into anything.
And it's not probably going to.
Unless like Ty Simpson, if Darnold sticks there for 10 years, Ty Simpson turns out to be
Darnold's going to be there for a while.
And Purdy stays there, then maybe there's something there.
When you win a Super Bowl, you get a long leash.
Sure, he's not 19 anymore.
No, but he's still only like 28.
True. Is he past his prime? Did we just see the peak Darnold years?
In his case, yes. I don't think he'll have a better. I don't think he'll have a better season than that.
Well, was his season last year better than his year in Minnesota?
It's on par, but it didn't come with devastating, crash outs. But it's good. I mean, when you win a Super Bowl, it's as good as it's going to get, particularly for a team like
But again,
Seattle doesn't have a back-to-back.
We're not talking
flavor
about that, but that's not what we're talking about on an individual.
No one
basis,
said
though.
that Darnold was one of the best 5, 6, 7 quarterbacks, and you just can't get over the hump. They're like, you of all people have been captain on the horse of Sam Darnold is terrible for the better part of a decade,
And I was right for 8 of those years.
and then you weren't for
And
2 years.
then I got it wildly wrong for 2 years.
Yeah.
One last question. Which team would you least like to take over for the next 5 years?
Oh shit.
Take over as the coach.
Coach, owner, whatever. Just like you get to be a part of you get to work in the film room. Just what franchise do you not want to be a part of the next 5 years?
There's a few answers. I think the Steelers is definitely one of them. The Browns is
I
definitely
disagree
one of them.
because historically they've been a good franchise.
Yeah, so
like
it's a
they're
lot of
well-run.
pressure on you to have to follow a lot of his history and prestige, and that team doesn't have much talent.
Fuck.
Yeah, but you have 5 years to figure this out.
The Rams would be on that list because they got nothing. Once Mahomes, once Stafford goes, I mean, goodness, they better hope Ty Simpson's good, or they're going to be bad for a bit.
Do you think McVay leaves when Stafford leaves?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably, but I don't know.
The answer is the Browns.
Browns would be there, but they're about to get off of the
5
Deshaun
years is
contract.
such a long time.
You
You could argue in 2 years they'll have a head start on certain teams.
Yeah, the Browns might. Yeah, Browns are bad this year and maybe next year.
The Browns have been bad for every year for
no,
30
but like
years.
the outlook looks bad for this year, maybe next.
but-
but then you at least you get to restock.
But
your picks,
they are a bad
your
organization.
money is sure.
and that continues to. The Jets are a
They're
bad
arguably-
organization.
The New York Knicks are a bad organization. They just
They'd
won a
survive a
championship. You
lot
can
of-
overcome that.
The Browns would survive deep. So I'm going to name 2 teams that might be crazy to name. Do you want me to name the more crazy or less crazy?
More
first?
crazy.
This might be crazy because the coach is really good, but the roster is old and the quarterback's about to get paid.
San
I'm
Francisco.
worried about the turnover in San Francisco.
And also that power plant that's next to the stadium.
Like when you think about the age of those guys, and then it's going to be time to pay Purdy where you don't get the break, and then like Trent Williams, George Kittle, I'm
McCaffrey.
Fred Warner,
Christian McCaffrey,
they're great. The coach is so good that it's like I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He'll reload that thing, but like just the roster, I'm trying to pick of a team that like
And
might
they're
have a
already super lucky that
or wildly
that the
unlucky.
third pick in the draft that they traded up for didn't and that blew up completely. They just fell into Brock Purdy in the very last pick of the draft. It's not like they knew he was going to be good. They would have picked him in the 6th round or the 5th round.
Well, that wasn't the.
They got real lucky
was
that
the-
Trey
was-
Lance was bad.
But was Lance the Purdy year?
No, but the point is they were able to, on the bounce, recover fine
They
after
got
wasting
a
all those.
mulligan for blowing that pick.
No one gets a mulligan.
Sort
they
of.
got one.
They also made the Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo was their quarterback.
He was a
Yeah,
fine
great call.
quarterback.
But he was the quarterback the year that Trey Lance came in.
My point is that franchise is already sort of like eaten up 8 of its 9 lives just based on that. So I don't think Jeff's wrong to say that could be a very precarious situation pretty quickly.
In like 3 years, that might not be a great
Agreed.
situation.
That could be a very bad team.
Maybe I'm
They could be
maybe I'm misremembering, but I can't remember a 5-year stretch of my lifetime where the Niners have been bad all 5 years.
the
maybe-
Jim Thomas. There was some, I guess,
Pretty much
out of
from
Harbaugh. Maybe it was 5 years.
Once Harbaugh left until
Once Harbaugh left, they really struggled for maybe like 3 to 5.
and after Jeff Garcia left, there was a stretch of years where they were
Maybe probably
awful.
like 3-4 years, then they got good again.
wanna
It,
say
it
like
just seems to be a continuous
05,
cycle with the
06,
49ers.
07, 08. Like
a great
after,
team, great
T.O.
team. Do you want
left
the other
and-
team that's probably in a different lower? This could be dangerous, but they're fans. I mean, anytime I say something bad, it just goes their way. So congratulations.
Chiefs.
I'm not totally confident in saying this, but Tampa Bay.
Oh,
No, yeah, of course.
sure, yeah.
I mean, if Baker fell apart in week 2 this year, no one's going to be stunned when Baker turns bad because everyone just he has played so much better that I think that the baseline of his career has went that no one really bought it the first time around when he played well at the beginning. And then people got far too hyped for him and he just wasn't that good. Then he was going through these injuries. He bounced around. He's been a nice comeback story.
Oh, yeah.
But the moment he gets bad, he's going to be bad.
I agree.
Vita Vea, Winfield, I'm just David. The defense is older. It's older. It's older, and the coach sucks. They've watched 2 elite coordinators go have some nice success and look like maybe they should have stayed in house and been proactive. So Tampa would be on a short list too for me for this answer.
They're close to a blow up though. 5 years is a really long time. To get everything back together.
But that's what I mean, Pat. In 2 years, the Browns might be really ahead of teams that today.
But here's the thing: the Browns will never be good. So that's tough.
People used to say that, but the Lions do, and then they were.
The process. They could be much further along in the process than teams just starting.
Yeah.
When you think of futility, in the NFL, the Browns and the Lions are next to each other.
Browns, Lions, Vikings, and Bills would be your core 4 of most futile franchises. But
then Arizona and the Chargers, but we got nice weather, so we avoid that other stuff a bit.
Yeah, but the Jets have just been around for so long. This has been a particularly bad stretch. And the Bills get the loser credit, just like the Vikings, because they've lost Super Bowls.
Yeah, they just keep losing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's not like they just lose.
Loser teams in cold weather always get the top spots in that list.
I have a couple if we have time.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Just very quickly, does Brandon Ayuk ever play football again?
That was actually one of the questions that a viewer submitted. So we can answer that question. And is there a definitive rankings of NFL players that have gone crazy? And where does Ayuk fill in that ranking? He's behind Antonio Brown.
I was going to say, Antonio Brown feels like he's a pretty strong candidate for number 1.
He's inching there. When does his rap at? Maybe
Puka Nacua seems like a crazy person.
He's got. I saw an interview with Puka Nacua from 2 days ago. His rehab may have just been a PR stint. He went and someone told him hey, here's what you say when you answer questions, and only say this. It was a very buttoned up corporate answer.
That only can work for so long.
Yeah, he seems like he could be a bit off the. Ayuk's a legit crazy person.
Yes,
I will say you did the 5-year thing. Just quickly before we close the door on that, the topic Tim started the goddamn show with. If that comes to fruition, then I'm phase 1 in 2 years.
Sure. The Chargers, another team that has been consistently good throughout my lifetime.
Yeah, there have been very few down seasons.
Organizationally, it's just like the Steelers. The Steelers could benefit from being really bad one of these years. They just never are.
Yeah, that's true.
You say you would have a lot to live up to, but I feel like if I was just taking over a team, the infrastructure of the Steelers can only help you. That's a benefit rather than the Browns. Because no matter where you think the Browns might be, their ownership is still the same from the top down, and it's bad. It's no different than Cincinnati, really. Cincinnati they've lucked into two generational quarterbacks, and one also very good quarterback over the past 35 years.
That is true.
That's just something the Browns have never had. I don't think Shedeur is the answer.
No. Only comeback player of the year, Joe Flacco, was the answer.
He is by far their best quarterback of the past 25 years.
No.
And he had one Baker
Kelly
year.
Holcomb was all right.
Kelly Holcomb was all right.
The year they went 10-6 and missed the playoffs, their quarterback was
Tim Couch, Derrick Anderson.
No, I don't know. Who was there? It was 2007, 2008,
That sounds
2009.
like Derrick Anderson or Kelly Holcomb time.
Yeah, one year they went 10-6 and missed the playoffs.
What do you think Kelly Holcomb's career record is?
I don't know.
We'll just guess if he's so good.
20-32.
Let's see.
He made the playoffs.
And you would say that's good, right?
It's all right. All right. You got to the playoffs.
How
Mayfield would be up there too.
How many games do you think that he has started?
Well, we'll say 35.
He has started apparently. What's AV? Approximate value. That's approximate value. Games played. He's played in 37 games in his career. It's not very good.
Yeah, but you don't have a lot to choose from.
You pointing to Kelly Holcomb as a good quarterback for the Browns. Maybe just kind of really emphasizes my point of Joe Flacco is by far the best quarterback that they've had.
Mayfield.
Won
a playoff game. Got him to the second round.
If they had just stuck with Mayfield,
they might have been okay.
They might have been okay. And the guy was playing through a torn rotator cuff at the time.
Yeah. So maybe him.
Deshaun Watson? Oh. Do you think they'll start Deshaun or Shadur?
I would start probably.
I would start Watson.
I would probably start Watson too.
Who would you start, Jeff?
Watson.
Because I was thinking about it. I remember I told you that I think it
Paying
would be
him
fun
anyway.
that if you're rooting for, like, you get to be the crazy person about the Chargers, Tim gets to be the crazy person about the Jets.
I'm not crazy.
That I should just pick, like, someone to be affiliated with and be crazy about that. Too.
But you can't.
I would, yeah, but I was
It's
just
not real. You can't fake that.
No, I was just gonna pick Shadur.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, I think he's like, we'll do the QB rankings. I'll have him at number one. I don't know what you're saying. I feel like that's an in on the internet.
I don't think
And
you can
like send tweets and tag Underdog, and they'll just get so much engagement because you'll just be baiting Shadur.
As Jeff likes to
comments
say
and
about the
shit.
PGA, you can't buy the magic the way Liv tries. You can't buy the fandom. You can't create it.
The magic's not for sale.
It's called crazy.
Yeah, it's not crazy. It's just, these things come about organically.
It's true.
Shadur, best quarterback in the. That's the new rival. Hey, you know what? He doesn't even have a rival. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Unrivaled. Bet you wish the Jets had made that trade for him now.
No, yeah. We're looking great. Only team in NFL history to have drafted a quarterback, started him, traded him to another team, and then traded for him back. That's what we're doing this year. Anything to get Aaron Glenn fired.
Any more, Jared?
That was my next one. First coach to be fired this year.
It should be Glenn. It also should be Taylor if Cincinnati is slow out of the starting gates.
They're always slow out of the gates.
Those would be my two biggest picks.
I think Glenn's got to be skating pretty easy here. Like, they'll just fire him at the end of the year. Like, what's the point? Like, being bad for the Jets would actually be a good thing.
Yeah. And the last time the Jets fired Saleh midway through a year when they were trying to win, and like that was disastrous. So I think Mr. Johnson would be less inclined to do that a second time.
Bowles could be on this list.
Bowles
shouldn't have. Yeah.
So this is interesting. Early betting lines.
But I just want to.
Early betting lines say Todd Bowles and Shane Steichen are the two favorites. Shane Steichen was the favorite for Coach of the Year.
I don't think Shane Steichen's the problem in Indianapolis.
When there were some like,
That's
it was
foolish.
like 15%, 20%, 12% like prediction markets that Vrabel would be fired. The market and the wording, because I guess these PMs, they have to like work between the lines, was essentially like, will this coach be coaching the team on opening day? And other than Vrabel, who was in like that rumor mill, the mongering, Todd Bowles was really like the only other coach with any semblance of a percent there. So yeah, I go Todd Bowles.
Bowles is the favorite. Steichen is second. Dan Quinn is third.
Yeah.
I guess if it goes to shit quickly in Washington, there's a new owner there. He could just, yeah.
Do you think that Tom Brady could coach Washington, do the play-by-play, yet still be co-owner of the Raiders?
Only if they paid him $1 billion so he could buy an NFL team.
And could he own that team and do the other three too?
If only, yeah.
The league would let him.
There was one question that came in. It's like, has anyone yet talked about the potential conflict between Tom Brady being an announcer and Tom Brady owning part of the Raiders?
Imagine if Tom Brady had thrown his club at the U.S. Open and got a 2-stroke penalty. Where would the line be?
Brady is like cringe, is taking away from the Brady conflict of interest. So good for him. It's actually
he's doing what Vrabel's doing.
And like your misfortune, Jeff, is my fortune. I would prefer people be talking about the cringe and not talking about the conflict of interest.
Well, you had the funniest line in the show. That what was it, Brady? With people about Brady,
If
it
people-
closed the segment.
Yeah, if it turns out that people have to start defending Tom Brady and their fandom of him, then I've won in some ways. The best that I can hope for at this point.
So the last thing that we're going to do, I told you I had a long Judge Cust. It's a long one to read, but I think the answer will be pretty quickly.
Okay.
But I am curious of what you have to think about this. Forgive the long-winded wind-up, as I am quite a unique situation in a bit of a moral predicament. Last year, in pursuit of a career change, I decided to take a traveling sales job. The job was selling high-end ceramic bakeware at trade shows, fairs, and expos. It was my first ever job in sales, and the commitment up front was quite large on my part. I was essentially working as an independent contractor for the company, where they would provide the physical product, ship it directly to the customer, provide customer support, and I would provide everything I needed to go out and actually sell the product. I ended up having to start my own LLC to manage my business expenses, spent hours on end memorizing sales script, and practice baking at home with the bakeware to get comfortable with the product. All of this ended up being much larger commitment than I originally expected. I found myself putting tons of money into travel, like gas, hotels, mileage, supply costs, cords, lights, demo food, trash bags, and several hours of physical labor putting up and tearing down the booth for each show, which would sometimes be only 1 or 2 days at a time before going to the next place. Before I went out on the road, I was given a couple small pieces to practice with. Then, after I had spent about a month training and get ready to take the leap, I had to drive about 2 hours to pick up all of my booth equipment and an entire set of sample bakeware to show off at the shows. Just so you have the whole picture, the place that I picked this up from was someone else's house who had previously worked in the same job. Needless to say, about 6 months into this experiment, I quickly realized that this was not the life for me, and I promptly submitted my resignation with the company to pursue other job opportunities. I sent an email containing a resignation letter to my direct superior and several other executives with the company. In the letter, I clearly explained my exit plan, said there were no hard feelings, and committed to staying in touch in order to work out the logistics of returning all of their items. I assumed that at some point in the following days, I would hear back from at least one of the people in the email. So I waited. Days turned into weeks, and now weeks have turned into months. I still have not heard anything from anyone in almost 6 months after quitting. They deactivated all of my accounts, my work email, and everything associated with my employment. The only thing I've heard from the entire network of people I worked with was a friendly phone call from someone I had connected with during training, wishing me the best. Complete radio silence from the higher-ups. So, it's now been over 6 months since I submitted my resignation, and no one has reached out to me for any of the things back. The retail value of all the bakeware is over $10,000, with several $1,000s more worth of equipment and booth materials. All of it is sitting in my garage, packed neatly and ready to be picked up at a moment's notice. My thoughts and feelings on the situation are mixed. On one hand, I feel like if they really wanted their stuff back, they would ask or arrange to have it be picked up. Also, feel like it's not my responsibility to offer it back to them if they have not made any effort to get it from me. Therefore, I do not feel obligated to go out of my way to call them and offer it back again. And since I feel like I made such a large commitment to getting all of this in the first place, I feel like I would be entitled to keep the product after enough time has passed without them asking for it back. It's also a burden on me to be storing this giant mass of items in my home with no explanation as to why it was never picked up in the first place. To be clear, if they called me and asked for it back, I would give it up. My question is, how long would I have to wait before I can fully claim this product is mine? And would I be morally wrong to take ownership of the product under the assumption that they have forfeited it to me? I know this is a unique and complex situation, but honestly feel that if they don't reach out to me after a full year, I have every right to claim the product as my own without guilt. My wife thinks that I should reach out to them one more time to offer it back, but I truly feel like the burden is on them to contact me if they want it, not the other way around. Given the circumstances, please rule on the morality of this situation from the perspective of both parties. What should I do here? Thank you, Judge Cust. Jason in California.
Wow. Okay.
See, that's a good one.
It's a good one. Obviously, if it were me, I would have already spoken to a solicitor to get advice. Look, I mean, I think from the morality perspective, you shouldn't be expected to carry an undue burden for too long.
And like, why should he have to continue to reach out to them? Clearly, they know he doesn't work.
Well,
there.
I was going to say they know they don't work for you. Don't work for them anymore. They deactivated your accounts, et cetera, et cetera. It's possible they just whoever's job that was to ask you forgot, or they themselves left and no one followed up. I think after a year, morally speaking, after a year, you shouldn't be expected to hold on to these materials unless it's in your contract or there's something in your contract that you sign with them that had some sort of clause or explanation about like what happens post-employment. But if it's silent on that, after a year's time, like, are they going to, I mean, will the product even be up to date anymore? Can they sell it? Will they use it? Do they even want it back? Is it worth their effort to try to collect it at that point? Like, what are they going to do with it? I think after a year's time, morally speaking anyway, I think it should be your product. I think a year is a reasonable amount of time, but legally, I have no idea what the legal answer would be.
Jeff, I agree with Cust.
Yeah, and part of me keeps coming back to this reminds me of that pitching wedge a little bit.
Oh
a
my
little
God.
bit.
Except he reached out and told them he had the stuff.
Yeah, right away. We're already past the point. If we're talking about 10 grand here in goods, it should be on Facebook Marketplace tomorrow. And like at 10 grand, like this company seems pretty incompetent. Well, like at that point, I feel like 10 grand is small claims court. Are they going to like do that? Are they going to do that? I don't know. 6 months, it's already passed. part of me has considered like one final reach out, but
No, I don't think a reach out is the right idea.
I guess the most important aspect is, do they have any information on you for which they can like garnish anything, or have access to garnish any aspect of money from you in
Wouldn't
any
they have
way
to
through-
show that they've made good efforts to try to collect on that first?
Yeah, I don't know, but in my point, like that's the thing. This is a small claims court, at which point that would require them to like have to go through a process that equals the cost of the goods. Facebook Marketplace, get that shit out of your garage, get a couple bucks for your suffering for taking on a gig that was not what you wanted it to be.
I agree.
Yeah, I think a year. I think if you held it for a year, then you've acted in good faith.
This
You've
stuff
acted in
seems
good faith
big.
in that way.
This stuff seems industrial.
But you've already held on to it for a few months, hold on to it for a year, and at that point, yeah, then at least from a moral perspective, I think you've done your due diligence.
That will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. We're back. We got a long show out of it. People are going to be pumped.
How long was this show?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, goodness. It felt like longer.
Really? I
Like,
thought this flew by.
I'm not used to the long reps. It's been,
See, this is why we're getting you into this is like a preseason game right now.
I think people prefer the 2-hour shows anyway. I really do. I think if we committed this season to be 2 hours and out, I think people on the whole.
I will commit to being 2 hours and out, but I want to film on Monday nights and Tuesday nights. And we'll do half the games on Monday and half the games on Tuesday.
I don't have
Well,
that
then we're
in-
doing 3.5 hour shows. I'm sorry.
Particularly as the Chargers are like 1-8, and Geoff is like acting like Hamlet out on the stage trying to figure out his next move.
Listen, you guys, the craziest I've been on the show historically is when the expectations are high and
They couldn't be higher.
disasters-
Well, we'll see.
No, they could be higher.
We'll
They could.
we'll see who wins most insane on the Custies, which are coming up, and then it'll be the 10th Custies the year after that. That maybe
I think that's when we said that'll be the last one. We'll
I
say
said that
goodbye.
maybe. They said maybe.
I think that's the right thing. We'll say goodbye to that approach. Nothing lasts forever.
It'll just be Cust Cooks.
Cust is here to make sure it's only 2-hour football shows and only a couple more Custies left. That's his mandate. That's his manifesto for your network, Pat.
Well, we're hoping to get Geoff down here. We might record the Custies with you at home and Garion at home, and then we're going to try to get all three of us in studio together to do the win total shows, which will be coming out towards the end of August. Cam, Rob, and I have a whole bunch of stuff going on as well, and Geoff, you and I are still doing golf together every Monday, so people can check that out. All right, thank you for watching. Share the show around, and I will see you next time.
Mayo Experience! Experience!